3, 2, 1, and welcome back to Chasin the Racin.
And welcome back to the podcast episode. I have no idea, but sitting opposite us is our guest that came on the show in episode 94. But before we introduce him, our co-host for this evening is Burton's catalogue favourite, the freshly about to get married, Josh Corner. How we doing, son?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm just plotting me revenge for all the piss taking I took on the last one for that, so...
before I introduce him, we laid into him mind. He's getting married and he didn't turn up to the last catch-up show, and it was just funny as anything. He just biggest regret of his life. But I tell you what, before we introduce...
it's not the biggest regret, I was agreeing with you there.
I can't believe you got somebody to marry you.
I know.
Really?
I've had to lengthen the chain.
The chain, I love it. Absolutely love it. But this episode is brought to you by OMG Racing, JCT, Truck and Trailer Hire, and this episode... Pacific sponsor is HMY, and I must say thank you so much to Hammy from HMY, because he provided... We lost Chrissy over 2 years ago, which is just terrifying notion. It's been 2 years, and when we lost Chrissy, Hammy provided t-shirts for the family, just as a tribute towards him. And Hammy went through the bunker and he found these 40 extra t-shirts, which was like proper nice of him, and he gave him the grace and said, do you want to get them sold out at the Donington round? And they just went like
40 minutes. Was it 40 minutes?
By the way, for our listeners, we actually have the boss in the show today.
Yeah, I gotta watch my language now, innit?
No, you just crack up. She's a rouse man. You don't have to worry about her. Burnetfield.
There may be themes of an unsavoury nature.
Parental control on this episode.
Disclaimer, yeah.
But no, Hammy is doing an amazing job, and it was fantastic because Grace and Katie were down from the Rouse family down at Donington Park, and it was just great to see all the t-shirts and how remembered Chrissy is and loved on that. But Hammy, you're an absolute hero for doing that, so thank you very much. But they're doing more t-shirts because the amount of people that missed out on that opportunity, they were absolutely gutted. So Grace and Hammy have hatched up a plan to get more t-shirts out there. There was a pre-order and it sold out immediately. So if you do go and order another t-shirt, please be patient as far as the delivery side of things, because believe it or not, there's only one Grace Rouse and there's only one Hammy, so this is going to be a big order to fill. But please click online, have a look, and please order a t-shirt. And as far as episode sponsor, Hammy's looking for memorabilia for his one of his businesses, mainly the coffee shop that he's set up down country, and he looks after like Brad Ray, Christian Iddon,
he does Christian's merch, a few others. And if you look at Grace will put their Instagram on, I'm sure, but if you have a look on their Instagram page, like his coffee shop and stuff, they've sort of racked out with loads of racing memorabilia and stuff. Really cool. So he's always looking for donations of some old crashed suits, and
he's involved with Wilf as well, isn't he? He's running Oxford Ducati, isn't it? It's no longer Oxford. We'll talk about that in a second.
Team manager for those guys and long-term supporter of the pod.
There we go, fantastic. But obviously, thank you so much for that. But hey, long overdue. You've already heard his very Yorkshire tones. The original number 69, king of Huddersfield International Airport, Jamie Whitham.
Hiya, you alright, boys?
How are we doing?
Yeah, good. All good at the minute. Just sort of getting to the end of the season. I've got my last 2 track training days this week coming.
Bloody hell. Where are they at then?
Anglesey. But struggling a little bit, really. Yeah, people this time of year, quite rightly, to be honest, they wait and see if there's a decent forecast. We get it. So get them out of the way, and then I can kind of settle a little bit then.
I tell you, mind you, I must say, sorry, I'm hearing bleeping in the background there, but I must say this is dead nerves for me that Grace is here, because we actually got dropped in last minute. Unfortunately, one of our guests lined up had to drop on us, so you have saved the show yet again. And
I nearly said I kind of feel like I was just a bit of a last minute. He can't get anybody else. Whitham's boring and he won't be doing anything down there at Huddersfield International, so he'll be cutting grass or something. Let's go down and speak to him.
No, but you've saved the pod.
Listen, I'm happy.
No, you're a national treasure. Now, I'm not trying to inflate your ego, but you are a national treasure, and it's great because people will be listening to this on Monday. That's why Grace is here, because she's going to have to edit this throughout the night to get it out for Sunday.
She'll be starting on her way back.
So like she's
Good
just
on
sitting
you.
there nodding in the corner here.
Yeah.
But this is going out Monday, and it's like the build up before the finals of
Brands
Brands.
Action. Yeah.
But like before we go down that route, you know, obviously we're going to talk about that in full detail. But episode 94, 2021.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What has been happening? Obviously, you've been busy with the track days. You know, is there anything like been bouncing around?
Not really. I mean, I'm in a nice kind of part of my life now where things not changing are good. Do you know when you're in your 20s and even into my 30s, I wanted things to change. I wanted whatever, better cars, bigger house, whatever. You've always got a dream, a plan. You want to travel. Now I'm just kind of, same as last year. That's all right. That's all right. Is that? Nothing's got that much worse. So I'm quite happy with it. I'm really happy living up at, and it obviously the real name of the place we sat outside now is Crossland Moor Airfield, which I still run and I live on site. There's no reason I shouldn't be calling it Huddersfield International because I once flew to France, thereby it's international, and it's at Huddersfield, so I can call it what I want. And it is the only airport at Huddersfield. So, but anyway, I like where I live. I like what I do. I like the racing. I like still being involved with the racing. I enjoy doing my track days. I do plenty of road riding, a bit of mountain biking. So I'm all right. Yeah, we're all right.
Good. I'll tell you what, that plane you've got out front, mine, we're going to have to get Grace out in that.
Yeah, that's my little aeroplane. I'll explain. I don't want anybody thinking it's some kind of Learjet stood out there. This is a small 2-seat kit-built aeroplane, but I do like it. It's not my pride and joy, but I do actually quite enjoy having it. Yeah.
Do you fly like regular? Like where
Much
would you?
as I can, yeah.
Where would you go? Like
I try and use it to get to some BSB, or if I'm doing, for example, I had to go down for a bit of a promo shoot for the NEC Motorcycle Live.
Yeah.
This was last month, and I found out that they were really near to a really nice little airfield I've flown into before where the studios were, so I managed to fly in there, get a taxi. So I do get to some BSBs with it, like Cadwell's got a landing strip right across the road. Snetterton, you can fly into a place called Old Buckingham. So I do, Thruxton obviously.
Yeah, can you land at Thruxton then?
Yeah, they're a bit arsey if racing has already started, if it's on track stuff. And you can see the point.
Yeah.
But actually, I normally get in Thursday and I'm out Sunday night when the racing is finished, so that's fine for me. But actually, I do more flying for just going for
just pleasure,
a bit of breakfast, yeah.
Because we were talking about like briefly outside that it takes, like you were saying, you have to give, like to go to the Isle of Man, you have to give 12 hours notice.
Yeah, this is to Border Force, to the police basically. Yeah.
But internally in the country, you can just get out and go, could you?
Yeah, if you're going through uncontrolled airspace, and there's plenty of it in the UK.
Yeah.
Even though it's busy around London because you've got Stansted and you've got Luton and you've got Heathrow and Stansted, all that kind of Gatwick.
Yeah.
So that's very complicated airspace. You can't just blunder straight over Manchester Airport. No. Clearly there'd be a safety issue. But if you want to stay outside of those big sort of centres of flying, you can pretty much do what you want.
And do you have to be in constant contact with them? Because I know a mate of mine's got a plane based out of like Berwick way, and I've been out with him before, which I couldn't believe how just like relaxed it was.
Yeah,
but
completely.
Once we took off, he was like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Can I do that? And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And I said, "Can we fly up the Tyne, like through the River Tyne?" He's like, "No, because it's inside the airspace."
That's going inside. That'd be inside Newcastle International's airspace.
And he said we can do it, but we'll have to book it, and we've got to be in constant.
Yeah. But that's
contact.
fine. I mean, that's fine. So if I'm setting off somewhere, say if I'm setting off from here to, let's say, a friend of mine runs a flying club down in Essex called Andrewsfield. That would take me through East Midlands, a little bit into Birmingham International, and you just talk to them. And if they've got nothing conflicting, they'll let you through.
Yeah.
If not, you've got to divert around, which isn't a big deal.
No.
Yeah. So I must ask you, talking about like it's coming to the end of the season for like UK track days and everything like that. Have you tried going abroad then? I'm just saying you've literally got a mode of transport that you could go in and check.
Yeah, we looked at the numbers, and they don't. There's some English and European companies doing a really good job down at places like Almeria, particularly Cartagena, Jerez, even Portimao. we really it wouldn't be worth us competing.
Yeah.
To run our model, which is low numbers, we have to charge more. That's clearly, if you're only putting 20 on track, you are charging more than a company that puts 40 on track. So that's our sort of USP. So to do that, you would have to just to take 40 people to port him out with a circuit hire, getting all the transport organised. That's
serious money, like.
Yeah. So it just won't make any sense. And to be honest, the track days are not, for me, it's not a business really. It is, and I don't want to lose money over the year. But I like getting on. It's my last link with going on track on motorbikes, doing wheelies, big powerful bikes. You know, and I don't want to lose that. So I like doing it anyway, and I like wheels instruction. We use Kyle Ride, Christian Iddon, James Westmoreland, all sorts of people like this, and it's my link with that as well. You know what I mean? I that's the way I stay involved, and it really helps me commentary, I think. Cause
still being with the boys and hearing
exactly
the crack.
Exactly that.
Here's a question from 2021. We last interviewed you.
Yep.
Are numbers getting stronger, weaker? You know, as far as
track days
in general.
We were getting a little bit. I think we were getting a little bit better each year until the beginning of this year. Then we've noticed there's been a noticeable downturn.
Yeah.
In numbers, because we get our dates out as soon as we get the dates off the circuits. And bear in mind we're 4th or 5th in line.
Yeah.
It'll be top car racing, top bike racing, track days that are booking 60 dates per circuit,
like no limits
and then
all,
us. So once we get the dates, we'll put them out an hour. Bear in mind we're only taking 25 to 35, might be about 30.
Yeah.
We've done 29 this year. So we're not top of the food chain, let's say. So we get our dates out. We always noticed we were getting our regulars booking 5 and 6 and 7 dates. Now, same people booking 2. And then they might book on another one. And honestly, I think the country's got issues. Financial issues, I think, for a lot of reasons. Not going to get into all that.
Yeah.
But what it does mean is people have a little bit less money in their pocket. And let's face it, if you're trying to justify to your partner that
he's talking to you here, Josh. By the way, he's talking to you
that you still need to do 6 track days this year, but yet you can't afford to go on holiday. Well, there's a bit of a you know what's going to suffer. Yeah. So
your neck.
We've noticed that. We have noticed that.
The whole industry, bike industry in general, is down. The market for new bike sales is down.
The toys.
Yeah.
Bikes are toys. And that's the first thing that if you start saving money, you start saving money on your toys first.
Yeah, there's like an argument though, isn't there? Because, and I think we do see a bit of both. I think in like difficult times, sometimes it's the last things people hold on to, isn't it? Because it's their last little bit of, but actually doing things like track days and stuff is...
That is a profit.
That is
I'm not saying they're going to sell the bike.
Yeah. But then it's a bit of a mix. We do see that.
We've been all right. And it's, in terms, it's a tiny little company. And me and the guy who I run it with, a guy called Paul Drinkwater, sort of part-time racer and retired fireman, actually.
He's got, his surname's Drinkwater and he's a retired fireman.
Yeah. And
that's class.
Well, it would be better if it was spray water. But this is... So we are very, what you'd call, streamlined. Yeah. He runs it from his house. I've got the bikes here, and we use my storage. So it's not like we've got 15 staff in the office and business rates and all that. You know, we can afford to... We're pretty trim, really. So we're all right.
That's good.
But I'm just thinking, we're like... Is it a popularity thing, or will bikes ever fully come back? You know, when you're talking about the golden days of the 70s, the 80s, and that, like, you know,
I think you're seeing it. I think you're seeing it already.
No, I don't think they'll come back like the 70s. The 70s were mega for a lot of different reasons. The 70s were just fantastic time for motorbikes in this country. You look at numbers we can only dream of now. You know, a lot of bike shops doing really, really well back then, and I mean, there's nobody really figured out why particularly. Racing was at its height then. It dropped into the doldrums in the 80s. I remember going racing at British Championship. In my time, I've seen massive crowds as big as they are now, and I've seen literally nobody. Yeah. So it's always going to go a little bit like that, fashion. But actually, like truck racing were huge for a bit. Then it disappeared because once you've seen it. At least motorcycle road racing has I say that, short circuit and
Yeah.
motorbikes on tarmac is an exciting thing.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a novelty thing. It still is exciting. So we've got something, and we're always going to have a core set of followers. But actually, it's not it's road bike sales are not brilliant, and that's what it all hinges on. What worries me is people are getting older.
Yeah.
You go look at the people who are buying motorbikes, and you go to a biker calf now. I do a lot of road riding. Everybody takes their helmet off. They're all old.
Yeah.
No, I go riding a lot on the road, but they're all with my dad's mates.
Yeah.
None of my mates
Exactly
that
that.
I grew up with
Exactly
ride
that.
bikes, but I do notice more of an interest from younger generation than I ever have done before. We have this conversation a lot at work, and I honestly believe that when I chat to Dad and all of his mates and stuff, people bought motorbikes who couldn't afford cars.
Yeah.
And then a passion was born out of the fact that it was like fashion.
Correct.
So like everyone had one.
But
and it grew from there. Whereas
There's
we don't
loads
have
of
that
different
now.
things. When I was 15 and a half, I was saving up for probably a year to get a moped, right? Which were then an FS1, a AP50, whatever it was. There were several. All my mates did the same. There must have been 8 or 10 people in my year group at school. All went 16 at different times. I was lucky I went 16 on the 6th of September, 3 days after I started in my 5th year. So I went all my last year at school
On the bike.
on my motorbike, and then mates joined in as they became 16. Well, my daughter Ruby's 21 now, nearly 22. So a few years ago, when she was 15 and a half, I said, Rubes, are you wanting a moped on the road next year? Yeah, because Grace, she's got a mate called Grace. Grace is getting one, and a lass called Jade, good friends of hers. She's getting one, because both their dads were motorbikers.
Yeah,
So they had a little crew of well, they're not, by then, when you're not on AP50s, I'm flipping rev and go, kind of, I think Ruby had a thing called a jog, little 2-stroke,
right.
made sure I got a 2-stroke. So a little 2-stroke rev and go. And
Dan, can I go on it yet? No, not yet.
They're flying about on their, scooters at 16. And actually, I didn't want to deny her 16th year on a motorbike, because it was one of my best years of my life.
Yeah.
It was freedom, and it led to this shit, right? Which I love. But it worried me a bit, I've got to say, and I didn't want to be worried. It did worry me. Yeah, and I just thought, there's a lot more, roads are a hell of a lot busier. I'm not sure whether people care or even care about other cars, never mind motorbike. I don't know whether there's the same, and I'm not going off figures. Motorbikes might be more dangerous then. I don't know. But it did worry me slightly. Or whether that's just a parental thing. I'm not sure.
I think you're 100% nail on the head. The respect for other humans has just gone down the shitter, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never mind if you're in a
It's
tin
every
box.
man for himself now, isn't it?
It
Well, I've never
seems
seen
that way, doesn't it?
I've never seen a car crash itself, have you? It's the person driving it that crashes it.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, cars crash into each other more than bikes crash into each other, right? So the fact is, though, you can get involved in most accidents in cars. Touch wood, it's ding, bang,
Done.
Cars bent, cost you a few quid, right? Motorbikes, the same crash. If one of them's a motorbike, somebody's
Get
hurt.
Yeah.
And we all get that and we all accept that, but it just was a bit weird when it was my daughter, I must admit.
It's like, it's weird. I remember I didn't have a license. Well, I did. I had a moped on the road. My final year of school had a moped. Nobody else did. Got banned from school for taking it, for wheeling it in the car park and making a load of noise. They thought it was like, you were like the fucking devil. They just thought you were an idiot. Like, why on earth? And I only lived in the same street as the school, but I still went on the bike.
Yeah.
But no one else
do
would.
wheelies.
Yeah, because you could.
Yeah.
So there were me and a guy called Mark Case were the first two. We were both 16 in September. So our last year at school, they're having this, it was not a biology, it was a geography field trip, right? So basically, you pay 6 or 7 quid, that covers your coach fare, and you bring a pack-up lunch, you get on a coach, and we were going to Malham, right? Malham's in the middle of the Dale, beautiful place, right? And we were going to be looking at the way that the flipping rocks have been formed. I remember it to say we're looking at Clints and Grikes, whatever the fuck that is, right? So we're going to look at these Clints and Grikes. I don't know, somebody will know, right? So this is this field trip. So Mr. Richardson was a teacher. So I've got a motorbike, right? This is probably November time. I've got this moped and this other kid. I think there were only 2 of us, but there might have been more than that had mopeds. But anyway, me and this Mark Case on this trip. And I said to Mr. Richardson, I want to go on my moped, and we'll meet you at Malton, just because I wanted to go on my moped. I'd rather go on my moped, my fizzy, than sit on a bus. So Casey says, yeah, I'll come with you. So, well, and you know what Mr. Richardson says? Well, that's fine, but you're not getting your £7 back for the bus fare. You're still having to pay for that. Well, yeah, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Because your mum had paid that, right? So we didn't go. We knew what time they were meeting in the main street. There's like a car park in Malham. I knew where we were going. I've been there as a kid with family holidays. So we knew where we were going, right? We planned this little route up through Skipton and been lovely little roads. And but instead of going straight there to meet him at the allotted time, oh no, we went to school and raced the coach. Oh yes, we didn't even set off till the coach, right? The door shut on the coach. As he pulls out of school, we're away on his fizzies. Well, it might have sounded a bit fast, that. It was more like, So anyway, we beat the coach there, which is the main criteria is we get there first, which we did. So yeah, but what I'm saying is, it wasn't about it was about the transport and the freedom, but it was more than that.
It's like something to follow, something to believe in.
That, you know, so you bought MCN and then you got in a bit of racing. And Barry Sheen's a Barry Sheen advert with an LC, you know, and it was just all. I don't know. It seemed cool to me at the time. I'm not sure it does for kids now.
Well, actually, I get that buzz out of cycling.
Yeah.
Because there's but again, there's a lot of older people in it. In all fairness, but I was at the bike shop yesterday and to buy some handlebars. Iddon's fault, actually, if you're listening, and because he was giving us grief over them, and you're just like, I really don't need these. There's nothing wrong with the ones I got, but I want them. And the guy's going, yeah, but that's part of it, isn't it? And like,
it is selling it.
You know what I do find? I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I distinguish. I do a lot of cycling, right? Mountain biking. There's a definite distinction between mountain bikers and
road cyclists.
dyed-in-the-wool old road cyclists, man, and they are tight as arseholes, them old boys. Honestly, you go to a cafe, you call it any cafe where there's road cyclists parked outside, there's a man arguing about price of coffee inside. There is a man going, how much? And he gets your little, you know, the little wallet, so you open up, you can spread your change, and it makes like a little tray because it opens up. Man, they are tight, them road cyclists. Tells Iddon that.
No, well, he's one of them.
So Iddon, right? I love Christian, right? He's the nicest, hardest working man you'll meet. You obviously know that. But tight.
Oh. Yeah.
The man is careful with his money to the point of flipping obsession. So he comes on a track day, right? Brings his caravan because you're there for 2 nights. It's double header. You get there night before the first one and you stop between, and he'll go off cycling in between. You know what his fitness is like. So he does laps of the. He's brilliant, right? And he's a great instructor, great man to have on your team. However, right? He says, "Ian, I've got everybody a bit of dinner. This is Wednesday, right? The team were throwing some chicken out of hospitality, so I've collected it up." Not been in freezer, just been in a bag. This is cooked chicken. It was cooked on Saturday. It's Wednesday. Opened the bag, and there's a waft, right? There's a waft filled the whole garage. Christian,
I don't think I'll risk that.
I'm not sure you should be doing this. Not sure.
Did he
go?
do it?
Oh no, he said. Oh no, yeah, you're right, yeah. But that's how tight he is. He said, I can't throw food away.
Yeah,
I love it.
But he's funny with anything that he wants, like cycling wise. Like I bought a second-hand Garmin. They're not cheap, and he's like, "What? Why? Why don't you just buy a new one? You'll use it every day."
Yeah, but that's.
And I'm like, yeah, but
then he justifies that, doesn't he?
But don't you think that's the paradox? The paradox of what you think is good value. I am sure that I've got a mountain bike I've got an electric mountain bike, but I've actually got a mountain bike. They were $4,500, $5,000 for a bicycle.
Yeah.
Your road bike's going to be 5 to 10. Right?
Minimum 5, yeah.
Yeah. So, and you see that as value. You can see the value in that. Somebody who isn't in a cycle go, you're mental.
Yeah.
So it's a paradox of it's really weird. I remember. I'm not sure I should tell you this, but I thought. I mean, it's funny, but it's dark humour, this, right? There was a man.
Put the disclaimer on.
No names, right? No pack drill. I'm gonna not even mention the names to protect the innocent. So a man was flying out of here, right? He flew a thing called a TB10, a nice 4-seat aeroplane. Flew with his wife, and a lovely older couple, retired. Clearly got a bit of money. Lived nice house at Onley, just over here. It's going back. I was just in my early flying. This turn of century, so 102 maybe. And I'd got a little aeroplane. Sat navs were just coming in cars and just coming in airplanes. You get a little moving map. They were very basic at times. Started off black and white. Now they're all colour, big winged-in moving map. So I've got this aeroplane. This guy, let's call him Trevor. Right? Trevor comes up to me and he says, have you got a sat nav in your airplane? They're all the rage. I'm on my second one. He said, got a black and white one and it's for sale. I've only had it a year, but I like it that much. I bought a colour one. The new model has just come out. I've got this black and white one. He had it in his car. He was showing it me. I said, yeah, I might be interested. I might be. Anyway, a week after that, man's flying, crashes, boom, goes on fire, dead. Right?
Oh, we've lost Trevor.
Trevor's gone. Right? So, my dad has a few quid, wouldn't think no was spending 40, 50 grand on an aeroplane, right? But the sat nav, right, is just one step to him. What's wrong with the map? I've got a map. So I says to him, Trevor, he offered me his old sat nav. I said, I know he's dead now, but he didn't have any aeroplane. I said, his missus is still going to have that, you know. My dad goes, wow, you think she is? He goes, yeah, we're in his car. She definitely still got it. He might be able to buy that. You know, I don't know how you're going to, broach the subject.
But sorry to hear about Trevor, but
so my dad says straight away, I might go see if she's all right. I might, hey, listen to this, right? And then about a couple of weeks later, my dad was scruffy as hell, right? Just an old farmer type, just scruffy. Sees him walking, scruffy, brand new brogues, right? Quality brogues. I went, wow. No brogues. He goes, oh yeah. Trevor's feet at the same time as I goes, hang on a minute. I went, dead man's shoes. He goes, yeah, I did all right. I said, go on then, explain yourself. He said, well, I went and I'm sat down, we're having a cup of tea, and I mentioned the sat nav, and she said, oh yeah, don't need that, you can have that, David, just take that. He says, then well, one thing led to another. He said, I got 3 pair of shoes, 2 suits, and I'm going, that's disgusting. And then it went quiet for a bit and he goes, and a lawnmower. I said, you've robbed the man's not cold in the ground. Yeah.
Jesus, that's funny.
Yeah.
please tell me you know where them brogues are now. Do you actually know?
They're still welded to his dad's feet.
He still had them. Well, my dad's dead now, right? So
you must know where they are.
I think my dad lived in Isle of Man when he died, and I went to clear the house out. Went a couple of van loads, and we got rid of some over there. We took some to tip or whatever. And I think they would have been recycling the Isle of Man, those brogues. Good quality though.
God, better that
That's
is
funny.
class.
That's funny.
That is class. But God, I could see it. Dead man shoes. I like
Dead
it.
man
But
shoes.
I tell you what. Speaking of feet, in a weird way, and we were talking about them briefly. Christian, what a shit bit of luck that was in that little incident, wasn't it? Because he's smashed his foot up, hasn't he? He put a post out on the old social media
completely.
saying,
Yeah. And it was it was like a nothing crash, was it, as well?
Well, number one, it wasn't anybody's fault.
No, it was just one of them
if
things.
you look, Billy got caught by Leon,
Yeah.
but even that was
Like a
just-
little
just
love tap,
it was
wasn't it?
nothing. That pulled the handlebar out of flipping, by the look of it. Billy's gone down, and just it was a sort of chain reaction from that. So really, really unlucky for Christian. And
O'Halloran's pretty bad as well, yeah.
O'Halloran's knocked about as well. I mean, that could have been worse though.
Yeah, there was a lot of
the
people.
bike could have
yeah.
been. But Christian's foot is, I think, quite knocked about.
Yeah.
You know a lot more about that than me.
Yeah,
He normally works with you. But
He's
I
put
spoke to him a couple of times.
Yeah, he's put an announcement out saying he's not riding at Brands. He's going to go and still support the team and everyone. And he's had some surgery on it, basically to reconstruct his foot, really. So it'll be good, it'll be fine. But just for the accident, it's a real shame, really.
because like when you look, I tell you what, that's the thing about bike races. You end up like pausing it, rewinding it, but I do anyway. You like figure out what try to go on, but it looks like when Christian's gone down, he's had his foot still on the foot peg, and then obviously Jason has hit the bike, and that force is just
Concentrate on his foot.
and it was just and it
He
just
got-
spun him off, and you're thinking, and like
That's what I think's happened.
and Christian's a hard fella, like, you know what I mean? He's the fit. He's the athletically most fittest person on that grid.
And he's strong as well. You know, he's a robust dude, isn't it?
It's funny because my missus doesn't know anything about bike racing, and the first bike racer she like proper one, I would say, that just met was Christian.
Yeah.
And we spend a bit of time with them, and she just compares everyone to Christian all the time. It's funny. She's like, is that normal?
Yeah,
He's going, I
Christian's
want to ride. I'm just going to put this in my boot or whatever. And she's like, surely that's not allowed. I'm like, yep.
Pretty normal.
Like, that's
pretty normal. Although there's a lot of things about Christian that are not normal.
Yeah.
But actually wanting to ride after you've got her is pretty normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But she's just funny. She'll come. Obviously, Christian's good at what he does, and he's at the top of his game. She compares everything to his level all the time. It's funny.
Oh, I want you to interrupt me here for a second, because last time we were down, me and Christian interviewed Matt Roberts, and we caught away for a coffee. And you were talking about the sat-nav theory of Christian Iddon. I'm trying to lead you on for this. He's got so Christian's got a theory when it comes to sat-navs. You know, when it gives you the slower route?
Yeah.
So he was saying, they were just having, this is how Christian Iddon's mind works. He was obviously talking to Wit and saying, well, look, if you pick slower route, will you ever get there?
Oh,
every time you get picked a slow route.
Yeah.
Every time you go, well, if you keep hitting slower route, will you ever get there?
Hey.
That's how Christian's mind works.
Here's one for you, right?
Here we go.
Totally nothing to do with motorbikes. How long is the mainland of the UK, not including Ireland, right? The mainland of basically what is England, Scotland and Wales. How long is the coastline without islands? How long?
In miles?
Yeah.
1,300 miles.
Oh, nah.
You're going to say something ridiculous like...
There's no
way
figure.
more?
You can't count. There's no figure. And you know why? It depends on how if you say, for example, you use 1 mile increments. 1 mile. If you had a ruler, one mile long, right, that's that. It'd be a lot less than an half-mile ruler, right? Because you're going into more. And then if you used a quarter-mile ruler or a metre ruler or an inch ruler or a millimetre ruler, the smaller the ink, it's infinite, absolutely infinite.
So it's basically impossible to measure.
So what they have to do is set a criteria of it. There is a mean figure that they've come up with. I guess the pardon me, Ordnance Survey, but it depends how you measure it. There you go. Every day's a school day.
I can see why you two get on, because that's exactly the sort of thing that he would say.
Yeah, I've talked to him about it. Yeah, weird, isn't it?
You ask another question. I'm googling this.
Yeah, good lad.
In miles, how long
is it? Yeah, that would be good. What's obviously this is coming out on the Monday before Brands.
Yep.
What's your predictions? What's your thoughts? Yeah.
Really difficult to predict. It's boiled out of two. Really, I would love to say that Glenn is in with a shout, but Glenn's in a pretty sort of unenviable position in that for him to win it, not only does he have to
win everything,
pull some out of an hat, but also it's relying on Tommy or Tommy and Kyle
having a bad week,
a couple of messes.
Yeah. Do you know, we were looking at the points and stuff on the way down, and I was actually thinking who could fuck this up for them two, and I think you've got Vickers will probably play the game anyway.
Because he did three.
I don't know whether Vickers
right.
It's hard to know, isn't it?
It is hard to know. Like Ryan, right? Been pretty much the fastest man. If he stayed on his motorbike and has turned up at the meeting,
from Brands onwards, he's been the man.
He won at Navarra.
Yeah, he did.
Pissed off in Navarra.
Just about the fastest man when he stayed on his bike, right? He's also been the man that doesn't just want to win. We saw that at several places. He wants to spank everybody into the weeds, right, and show how fast he is. That's fine. I get that. It's a race thing, right? I mean, don't do well for championships, but I get what's in his head. So, being that he's not going to be with the same team, being that he still wants to, he feels like he hasn't had a good send-off because he didn't have a brilliant
last couple of rounds has been difficult.
Mate, I am fairly certain he's going to pull his visor on and go, I'm just going to spank everybody.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain. I don't know, but that's how he seems to work. I'm fair play to that.
He was like so strong at the middle round of the season, wasn't he, at Brands? And I think Danny Kent will be quick as well.
Danny Kent's been quick everywhere. Just needs to get it off the line and get stuck in a bit more and get a bit of luck.
Yeah.
I like Danny.
I think he would have had a good go at Kyle at Donington if it wasn't for that red flag.
Yes, I think
he was going to go for something.
I think Danny's got a lot going for him, but what he does, a couple of times he's been the fastest man on track, but just didn't get away with him or waited. Or he's a safe man. I like Danny. I'm glad he's going well.
I think to be fair, I expected after the first few rounds for him to be a bit higher up in the championship than he is. But certainly going into brands, yes, it's Tommy and Kyle, but you've got a few people who are going to be...
Got definitely be a spoiler.
Yeah, in the mix.
What's the points difference?
I can't actually...
So, you know, I'm trying to think of...
5 points to Kyle, innit?
Is it 5 points
It's
to
tight.
Kyle?
It is tight. Let's check.
Let's
There
check.
we go. So some work out the maths.
God,
on
I
that.
should know this. Is what I do for a job.
But while you're working that out, he's already on the answer. I've got an answer for that. By the way, going back to the coastline one, I've just Googled it. Hold on, let me foot. 7,723 miles.
Yeah. but
Seems a lot big.
it
Seems a bit smaller.
What you can't say, you can't give a figure without saying what
parameter
measurement you used.
There we are. Love it. And also, here's another quick one. Going briefly back to Vickers. Which team's he going for? He's on a Ducati next year in Worlds, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which team is that again?
The one that Rinaldi was
It's
riding
Rinaldi's
for.
bike.
Yeah.
Rinaldi's bike.
Yeah.
So it's not a shit team.
No, it's a good team.
Hold on, I'm trying to get my facts right. It's not. Is that Superbike or
Superbike,
Supersport?
yeah.
It's Superbike.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! So go on then. What's your prediction on that then? How do you think he'll fare on that bike as well?
I don't know. I mean, you want somebody that goes from BSB, Taz, or Brad Ray. You want them to go well.
Yeah, as a nation, we want them to do well, don't we?
And you want our championship to be looked on by other people as a credible, which I think it's lost a bit of that. I think it's lost a bit of its stepping stone feel for people like Troy Bayliss, you know, who came here specifically to go off and do, and that worked for him, and others. So I want him to, you know, I think it's a big ask.
I agree with that. It's like we all want them to do well, but it's like that arena is just.
I'd want any Brit to do well there for that reason, because it just seems very. Because BSB's so tight, isn't it? And then there just seems to be like a chasm between bikes and teams.
Right, the electronics are different. The bikes are therefore different. The teams therefore have to be of a different
level.
The circuits are different. There's a lot that's different. That's not to say that one of pick one. Would Remy Gardner come to Cadwell BSB and clear off?
No,
probably not.
It's a very.
So it's not.
Yeah, it's incomparable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more incomparable than it is.
Yeah,
a mismatch.
I still think in BSB though, a top rider on a slightly lesser bike could still do well. Not as much as it used to be.
No, definitely not as much.
It's much closer.
But you're never doing that World Superbike.
Nah, you look at
Brad Ray. You know, Brad Ray.
Yeah.
Like won the British
title. He can ride a
motorbike. He can pedal a motorcycle. That boy, and then turned up Yamaha team.
From an outside,
not the Yamaha team. You know what I mean?
He didn't do a lot of testing.
No flyaway rounds.
No flyaway. He just short of mileage, and at times he's been pretty impressive. When you look at so.
Yeah. People who know, don't they? They're looking at it from a different level, I suppose. But
you know, we're saying that as like, you know, bike racers and bike fans. You know, we see the little details, but from the outside looking in, as far as the British public's concerned, it's hold on, we've got a Brit.
Yeah, as far as the public goes, but I think the idea is, and as a racer, I always felt like I'd rather be in the bigger arena where people looking at you knew the problems you were up against and allowed for those.
Yeah,
the people who know.
Yeah.
And the people who matter know. And the people who don't know really shouldn't be the ones that matter. If you know what I mean? You understand that? So
what do you think the future of World Superbike is?
Don't know. There's a massive question mark over 250 horsepower motorbikes on circuit, and that counts Grand Prix, World Superbike, but more BSB.
Yeah.
And so what you've got, when I look back at my time, the most power I ever had on a superbike was a World Championship front running ish. I've podiumed it a few times. Factory Suzuki S-Rad in 1998, and that had 165 horsepower out of a 750.
Yeah. Before
it went to 1 litre and 1200 twins.
You got Supersport bikes doing that now,
right? So superbike now 250 horsepower, bigger CCs, all the rest of it. So World Championship have gone, Hockenheim, that's dangerous. We're not going to go there. But it's all right because we've got another circuit down there that's safer. Oh, Monza. Yeah, Monza's a bit unsafe. Right, also we've got another circuit there that's a bit safer in Italy. Well, MotoGP and World Superbike have gone away from all these circuits that are considered unfit for purpose with a 250 horsepower motorbike, and I get that safety, brilliant. But you ain't got that luxury in BSB.
No.
Once you say, and I'm not saying this is the case, but once the mindset of somebody is, and the majority of people is, no kill. Well, that's just like Malin. We stopped going there years ago. Cadwell, not a lot of runoff. That's not fit. Well, we can't go Alton Park. They won't brought about Brands Art Show right back. So once the thin end of the wedge is poked in, you can't go anywhere else. Nobody's building any more circuits over
no
here.
series, would there?
So you've no series. So the only thing that can happen, and I'm saying medium term. I'm not saying next year, but racing in general, they're gonna have to get less power.
Yeah.
That I can't see I can't see any other way around that long term. I haven't got anything to do with the decision. I'm just saying this is the way I see it. This is my opinion.
And I think that you're seeing that in the market anyway, aren't you? People don't buy 1 litre sports bikes anymore.
Well, they don't buy any sports bike.
Yeah, it's just changing massively.
They buy a GS or an MT 09 or a Street Triple.
Yeah,
But then, arguably, going back to the brake horsepower limit, that's not really going to affect the lap times, really. Because remember when MotoGP went from 1,000 back to 800s, the lap times went up. You know what I mean? Talking about motorsport development.
It depends what they do, doesn't it? And there is a fact that you've got to look at what's the most dangerous part. And actually, you ride Cadwell on a 200 horsepower motorbike now. I do a lot of track days on 200 horsepower motorbikes, and it's a different place. The fact is about the things with the bikes with a lot of power get from one corner to the next corner so unbelievably fast. Then that's the dangerous part of the fast bikes. But actually, there's an argument to say that a British Talent Cup bike actually mid-corner
It's faster.
is faster. But what they haven't got is the weight. So you've got a lighter bike, which makes them, in a lot of ways, makes them quite safe.
Yeah.
If you get hit by one, it's safer. The thing ain't going to go, it's not going to have as much inertia if they slide off on a corner. But the fact is that if you ride a flipping, you've done it, you know, it's a flipping, putting a 200 horsepower motorbike, never mind 250 horsepower motorbike like Cadwell, Alton Brands, most of the British circuits is
It's hard work.
It's hard work.
I must admit, when I went to the Northwest this year and I went out on the 600 for the first time, my first reaction was I wish I'd come on a super stock bike.
Because the straights are really long.
No, just because you just felt like once you got up to a bit of speed, you just felt like you were riding so hard, and I wouldn't have dreamed riding a 650.
Well, they always say that if you listen to TT riders, I can't remember this myself from my TT time, but they say that they always feel like they have to ride the smaller bike harder.
Yeah,
Michael Dunlop's doing 123 on a pattern, 100 brake horsepower
on a 600.
You know what I mean? Like, I completely agree. How hard are you pushing? I've done 122 on a pattern, and you're buried in like.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that all right. So what we're saying is do nothing, because whatever we do is going to make it more dangerous. You can't do nothing.
No, you've got to do something. And
to adapt, that's the argument, though, isn't it? But you've got to adapt to
do you give
keep
people
the tracks.
One of the ways would be give people a lot less grip.
yeah. But it's like going backwards, isn't
But then
it?
that's going backwards, and nobody likes going backwards.
I think the lower capacity's definitely got to be, like you say, it's lighter. Yes, the lap time will still be strong, but you could even argue from an engineering perspective that it would develop it, wouldn't it? Because they'd be trying to extract more out of less.
Well, it depends what the rules are. The problem they've got with the middleweights now, what used to be super sport, is the fact that it's a power to 8 class now.
Yeah.
Which everything has to be, because there's nothing the same as you're trying to balance across the frame 4 600s against 636 across the frames, V-twin 955s, 765 triples.
Yeah.
And everything has to be balanced individually. The problem with that is they've done a fairly good job.
Yeah.
Fairly. Right, that's interesting. Because I think they've done, from the outside looking in, I think they've done a great job. So why do you think fairly then?
Because I don't think there's a brilliant job you can do with that. I think it's an impossible job.
Yeah.
Because, yes, you're going to get circuits that favour a bit more torque, are going to obviously favour the bikes with more torque. Top-endy stuff might favour a different bike. But the biggest problem is, doesn't matter what you do, everybody's going to be fed up with it the whole time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to say, well, my bike, yeah, it's faster. You listen to
Jack and
Ben have been just at each other all year, right? Yeah, but your bike's 955. Christ, superbikes were only that 10 years ago. Yeah, but yours is handles. I can tell yours handles better than mine when I follow you. I can't do what you do on that. So you're almost making everybody upset with the rules by having rules.
Yeah, but Jack Kennedy, like, I tell you, I don't know who was saying this to the other day, but Jack Kennedy will never ever sell a 600. Ever. It's Jack Kennedy.
Yeah,
it's Jack. No, I'm sorry. You put Jack Kennedy on any motorcycle, I would never ever dream in my years go buy a Honda 600 because Jack Kennedy's on one because he makes it work. He makes it work. But what has impressed me with the Honda 600, Dean Harrison. You know, Dean Harrison was top 10 superbike rider. He can pedal a motorcycle, but then that Honda 600.
Dean loves little 600.
But he's riding it unbelievably well.
There's nothing wrong with it. I've always rated. I mean, maybe not to win a PSP championship, but there's never been anything wrong with where Dino rides.
Yeah,
some lap times he's putting on what was really a second-rate Kawasaki, his roads bike, that didn't get altered that much for the short circuits, from what I'm told. Its lap times are
good,
impressive.
I think they're impressive. Very, but like my point, like being someone like Dean, who's not Jack Kennedy, world supersport rider, he's hopped on the Honda. And he's doing an amazing job, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that comes down to, like you say, the riders are so important. Like, Jack's riding that Honda.
But I'm using the same comparison. If Dean was running round 30th, Dean's capable of where he is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm not saying that,
but it's because he's a good rider, isn't it?
It's because it's a good rider. The bike's there.
Dean's a good little rider, and the class and the bike allow him to
do well,
show a bit more than what he would in superbike.
Because they're the only two Hondas at the front?
Yeah,
basically,
much.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's when the factory Hondas kind of thing. But
that's the other problem. Once you get, if you were coming into Supersport and you thought, right, we've got a big sponsor, blank check,
what are you going to buy?
What are you going to buy? You ain't buying a Honda. I mean, bless them, they're brilliant bikes, and that's what they meant. A Supersport bike was meant to be in my head. That's why, a 4-cylinder flipping across the frame, screaming 600. But you wouldn't go, I'll have an Honda, no matter how it handles, and I'll have a Yam, because a couple of engine refresher, 3 engine refresher a year is going to cost you a fortune. Yeah. You're much better with a detuned, huge capacity motorbike than a tuned to oblivion flipping smaller capacity. Surely.
That's what I like about it. I think it's sensible, isn't it? I feel it feels like progression in a way. It feels like it could, if it allows more people to race and it makes it a more competitive series, great. Yeah, like you say, it's always going to piss someone off. Like the Triumph really is not a race bike, is it? It's
but you try
made into one, isn't it?
You try and tell somebody that you've just passed down a straight that he's still got a better bike than you.
Yeah,
they're
going to be pissed off, aren't they?
Yeah, what I'm saying is they've got to do something, and I think they've done, like I said, a good job. However, the job in itself has got to disenfranchise some people.
Yeah, 100%. You're never going to get away from that, are you?
But I'll tell you what, playing devil's advocate here, if we're talking about 1,000 cc's, so say, right, something has to change, we have to get rid of thousands.
Maybe not, I don't know.
No, I'm talking. No, you're 100% right. In order to keep the sport going, I'm just playing on theory here, and like devil's advocate. It's just, if they said next week we have to get rid of thousands in order for BSB and racing to continue in England, we can no longer race 1,000cc motorbikes. What would be the Premier class? Would it be Supersport? What would you replace it with? How?
It'd be Supersport, but with full chassis that you could mess about with. I would say it'd
be some more open ruled middleweight Supersport type set of formula. You look at cars. When was the last time that you built a car with no rules? Formula One. When was the last time it had no rules?
1970 probably. Even then it had rules.
Legit, like
teens, 20s, early 20s.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Shut up, man.
Telling you, CC rules.
Yeah.
So there's always been a formula. In our time, it's been 3 litre, 1500 turbos, back to 3 litre normally aspirated. Then it's some kind of hybrid. We've had all sorts of stuff in there. Right now, it's a hybrid between electric, petrol. The turbo develops flipping 200 horsepower apparently, and charges batteries, and
Yeah.
and when they're going quicker all the time, like you said. So don't think that because you're not seeing ultimate, and even superbike, they're built to a 6-cylinder gearbox, and because the rules have been like that for a while, since late 60s. So I can't see that much of a problem having a set of rules that makes the job more sustainable and safer. I think people still come and watch. It's not like they're going to go, well, it's only got 180 horsepower.
No, they don't care, do they?
No, and they can't tell a lap time from side of track either much.
No.
They're not going to
timing
tell a
people.
second and a half.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? If everyone's doing the same.
If the racing's good.
Yeah. If everyone's on in and around a motorcycle that's 150 horsepower, for example, which is basically what Supersport is now. Yeah. Regardless of whatever you can bring, as long as it's achievable.
Maybe Iggsy's got a plan, and and we're going to see thousands. I don't know. Maybe they're going to develop the circuits, more runoff, more safety, blah blah. I don't know.
I more see it.
It's all exciting, something like you say. The red tape we live in, things have to change, and it's just like in
there's
theory,
another level.
Could get rid of a top class.
Another level to that, though, isn't there? The people aren't building them.
Well, they're not selling them.
Yeah.
So they're not building them.
Yeah.
I mean, what's spoiled a lot of it's road regulations in Europe that's
like Euro 5 and stuff. It's like you have to they all build 1200s, and then so the new Ducati that everyone's seen is a 1200. Then they'll bring out an homologated special, an R, in a year's time. So next year you'll not see any different Ducatis racing. It'll be what they've raced this year.
Yeah.
Then another year they'll bring out a homologated one that's 1000cc, and then will they?
So it's I mean, racing's always been in a state of flux. It's never sits. I mean, my early days of racing, it was all 2-strokes. If somebody said you're going to race a 4-stroke, you're like, what? A 4-stroke? Too heavy.
Yeah.
That's like your Manx Norton, your dad had raced.
Yeah.
But it's true, innit? But
it was all 4-stroke, then it goes 2-stroke. I wonder if we'll ever see 2-strokes come back.
Well, not
until he comes Prime Minister.
Not in the same form.
No,
that will compulsory.
Yeah.
No one's allowed to car
anymore. Like fuel injected 2-strokes a real thing with TPIs and stuff now. It's like a proper thing now. I mean,
a 2-stroke ought to be a more efficient engine.
Yeah.
It fires every time the piston comes up. There's no wastage in driving the piston around with nothing happening. It should be a more efficient engine. But
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Yeah. As would.
Brands, Ash. We're talking about brands. We're talking about brands. And I think you can't... Did you find out what the points
4
is?
points.
4 points. Kyle leads by Tommy by 4. I think it's going to come down to them 2.
Kyle pulled it out the bag last year when he got in that fight, and he wasn't...
he did, but Kyle really didn't expect to win championship last year, so it's how he copes with it. What I have seen in Kyle this year is a man who has found something in himself. I think he's found a little bit of more self-belief, call it what you want, but he's gone to circuits like Cadwell. Never excelled at Cadwell.
Won races.
Last 2 years, he's gone really well there. He's not scared of things now. And I think, well, I'm hoping, I mean, I've said to him, what do you think will happen if it comes down to a straight fight, rolling your sleeves up and proper getting stuck in with Tommy? He said, well, I don't know, but he said, I haven't had to do that yet, and plan A is working absolutely spot on, and you can't argue with that. Which is why he's in the position he's in, and his teammate
is not.
Ryan isn't. Ryan's been as quick as anybody and quicker than most a year, and where is he? 16th championship, 15th championship?
I'll be honest, if that happened, I think I know who I'd put my money on, and I would, as it stands right now, I'd have a few quid further towards Kyle than I would Tommy.
Tommy's won one.
It's more to do with like Kyle as a person, and he's like one of these people that. So if he got interested in something, he has to be the best at it,
and he's brilliant at stuff.
And he can
great golfer. Yeah. Plays off about. He's been golfing 2 years. Plays off about 6.
He'll start doing something else now, won't he? Because he's done
mega darts player, snooker. Right, right into his snooker. He's got money to golf now. Snooker. So what's your highest rate then? Regular 130. 130. Honestly.
It's just that's what I mean.
He said, well, regular 100. He said he's had a couple of 130 breaks in his snooker.
Yeah.
But he said regular 100 breaks. That's, I mean, I'm guessing
good
semi-professional
stuff. But even
So he's very good at stuff.
like just like even watching him over the years and like racing with him when we're younger and stuff. Just
He's good at stuff, isn't he?
yeah, but he's on a right confidence ride at the minute,
Correct.
isn't he? And he's going well. It's
But-
going to plan.
I love the way that he'll under-promise and over-deliver. He'll never say more than what it is, and he'll always, he'll understate his chances in things, and I don't really like it here, and blah blah blah. Like riders never do, but he does. So he always over-delivers, really. But I love that. But then you look at Tommy. What Tommy's done. Who the hell had Tommy down for?
No,
do what he did.
Nobody.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I got asked by MCN last week, right, what's going to happen at Brands? This is Josh at MCN, right? Rings me for predictions. I'm going, obviously rings other people. I said, why are you asking me? The man who didn't even have Tommy. I said, you might as well just ask somebody in the street who's never watched a motorbike race, because clearly they know more about it than me.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, but nobody had Tommy in the top three. Just too many variables. Could Tommy do it on anything other than a Ducati? Is that Honda ever going to be any good? All these questions. Nah, didn't even have him in the top three.
But
so
you'd say that Honda's been the thing to be on this year. Certainly one of them.
well, yeah, but because he's made it look like that. So I would never now.
Yeah,
I would never do him the disservice of underestimating Tommy.
But even the Hawk lads they've had a good strong year on them bikes.
How good
as
have
well.
they come this year? How good
Very
have they
good,
come?
yeah.
But it's the pair of them at the same time, Nesbitt
Yeah.
and Lee. You know what I mean? They're just going whoop off to get. It's
Yeah.
been
Bud Nesbitt's been
Big
good
step.
this year.
Yeah.
Nesbitt's
He's
a
made
boy,
it-
isn't he? I like
He's
him.
he's made a step mid-season.
Yeah.
And he's so.
Because he did a bit of crashing when he was on
But-
Suzuki
but
first year.
do you
didn't
know? Yeah, but he'd done a bit of crashing on this. And do you know what I like about him? I like the fact that he's quite prepared to push the limit to find out where his limit is.
he? Yeah. I suppose you have to. That
And when you
level,
don't,
yeah.
I think it's a disadvantage. And I like that. Going back to Brands, who would you put your money on? I don't want to do. I like Tommy. Tommy's brilliant, and what he's done this year has been fantastic. And I keep telling him that. I says, look, and he keeps going, I didn't even really get to see. But I think I probably would. I'm not saying I'm putting my money on it. I think it's 50-50 call if you had to bet your house on it.
Yeah.
However, I'd like to see Cal with it.
I would as well, to be fair. And I do think that the momentum's with him. I mean, Glenn, he's 42 points back of Tommy.
Well, Glenn, it's got to take something because the points difference are still small. Yes, the points have ramped up, but it's not like 35 for a win. What is it at Brands?
It's 35 for a win. I don't know what second and third is.
I think 30.
It tells you on here. The gaps between are not massive, are they?
No, if it were 35 for a win and 15 for second, well,
Yeah.
then Glenn can go and win all three. But I don't actually think it's going to take anything other than a mistake from Kyle or Tommy.
And I think, Danny...
it's a two-dog fight, this. No, okay,
I think so.
I'll tell you what. Obviously, everyone's listening to this, hopefully in the sunshine, driving down, but what's going to be the biggest player? Weather.
Completely.
So,
we said
like-
that. We said that, Donington. We did so well at Donington, by the way.
Yeah, to not get any rain.
Yeah. I can't see us having the last two meetings completely dry. We've already had one that was a lot drier than we thought. So, hey, I think...
Let's play the game then. Wet. What's going to result?
But how many
gonna be?
times have you seen... There's a difference between Brands being wet at 15 degrees and wet at 6 degrees.
Completely.
That's the problem. You don't know what
Okay,
you're going to get temperature-wise.
For the fun and game of this, worst condition wet.
Yeah.
Kyle or Tommy?
Don't know. I mean, Kyle always says he don't like wet, and he hasn't.
He's always drifted mid-pack, and then he banged out a result in
Alton Park,
He
he cleared up and put a second lap into people. So,
But then he put it like in that red flag. He was mid-pack, not mid-pack, but he was like knocking
Then
around
just
at
cleared
10.
off.
Then they've come in and gone. Let's hit a button here, and he just
Yeah,
did it
yeah,
with different
second
angles.
lap,
Like,
the last 5 laps, he took 5 seconds out of people. So, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I just hope that it's somehow is a clean, straight fight.
Nah,
without
bollocks to
any-
that. Get the elbows out.
No, I don't mean clean then. I mean, your elbows out and sticking your head down between them. But I don't want something. Remember when Chiari spent half a season, he'd swapped bikes, ended up on a build-based BMW, immediately under the ick and started, for whatever reason, started winning races. Came right back into championship, went into last round with a real good chance against Shaky.
Yeah.
Crashed and broke his collarbone on Friday. And you think, ugh.
Fuck's sake. Wrecks a job.
Yeah. But what we want to see is last year, what was a half a point between them, but there was just back and forth.
On track.
Like me and Grace were packing up the studio last year at Brands, and the whole banks. I have like, you know, when you were talking about the glory days of bank sides being brimmed.
Yeah,
I've personally never seen a bank side so full than last year, and you're just like two lads.
Yeah,
put Kyle in there. Kyle I thought played clever there because he could have been the ultimate pantomime villain by trying to separate them two. Like it was like Kyle. I think it was just like
all right,
let them fight it out. You know what I mean?
Right at Donington, where do you see? And basically, I love Andy Irwin. Right, he's a great lad.
He didn't pass his brother though.
Yeah. What do you think?
That was a genetic gene pool thing there. Just going, just hold it back here.
It's really easy to say, sat at the side of the track, isn't it? And you know, I've never sat on it and said, but to look like the Andy Irwin that we all know would have fucking had a go. It's hard to say.
It's all right.
It's his brother, though, isn't it?
He had a bit of a go at me. That's all. Not in a nice way.
Yeah, but I do think that. Listen, his actions and everything, how he rides, how we know him, the Andy that we know,
would have been.
It's give everyone reason to think that.
He hadn't done half a lap without trying to overtake somebody.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone's unjustified in thinking that he held back or didn't pass or whatever.
Actually, it's good to see Andy find a bit of
he's
pace.
had a good. Yeah. He's had a difficult, I feel really sorry for him in a way because I think people probably didn't realise how bad that injury was.
From Knockhill.
Yeah.
That would have.
It was a bad one.
Really that would have bad in that. And he didn't make out of it. And that's affected him more than he thinks. Or more than we think.
And it's took him a while to come back, and he's had a few ups and downs and stuff. But he's
getting the bite back, 100%.
Yeah.
But who's going to be a biggest outside shot then for
winning the race?
Winning that Brands, yeah.
Winning a race?
Winning the race. You know,
I think Danny Kent's going to. I'm just looking at the points there. He's 62 points back of beating Glenn for third in the championship, which is a big ask.
Oh, massive ask.
I tell you what, Storm Stacey, if it's wet. At the minute, he is full of confidence.
He likes the way, doesn't he? Yeah, he's found a bit of confidence.
You always find that Brands, everyone's a bit closer. Like at Donington, it was quite spread out, and I always think that Brands, for whatever reason, I know Vic gets fucked off at the front at the middle round, but I just think because maybe it's a bit more flowing or whatever, there's not really any stop-start places, one hairpin.
Well, I think one of the interesting things is, I honestly think Danny will really well. I think Kyle and Tommy are almost in their own little battle for championship regardless, really. Yeah. If somebody clears out, but I think Ryan Vickers, I'll have a proper go, and I think he's going to be quick enough. But I don't think he'll want to get involved. I think he'll either not get involved and stay behind him, or if he thinks he can go.
Well, that's the best thing
it's the best thing he can do in a lot of ways.
He could do is just try and beat the front straight away.
I was about to say, if you were on that bike in those positions, let's use that perfect example of Kyle last year, watching these two battle it out. As a rider of your level, would you have I'm best staying out of this?
You know, as near as I can get to that is 1 year, the year that Georgi Toika won the World Supersport Championship, I ended up in a 5-man dice at Brands last round when we had two rounds at Brands, European round they call it, but anyway, Brands. Me, Jog Toika, Christian Kellner, Cal Mugridge, and who else? One more, I'm sure there are 5 of us. Yeah, anyway. And I was told before the race started by the bloke called Lawrence Kleinkerkamp, who was the head of Yamaha Europe Racing. And he said, you can't win the championship. I think about 4th in championship. Toika can. But also going out last round, Chambon could have won it. Stefan Chambon and Paolo Casoli, and he might have been involved in it as well. But anyway, we dropped him. Zaus had crashed, and it's basically 4 of us, 4 of us. Yeah, 4 of us at front, and I was told not to be. I was told under no circumstances should we be in. Oh. Maybe Andrew. Anyway, I was told not to be Toika because he could still win the championship. And I went, all right, okay. I thought, fuck it. Yeah. With about 3 to go, we're all together. I thought, nah, 120,000 Brits at home round. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm having a go. And I finished 3rd, and Toika won championship. He finished 2nd. Mugridge won it. But went out at line pretty much close finish, within bike's length of each other.
Yeah.
And he came up and he said, Did you? I said, yeah, I just wanted to make it look exciting, that's all. Fuck, I'll wring his neck. I'm desperate to bring it. But what I'm saying is, it's quite an hard thing.
Because a lot of people don't see that, the politics behind it, because a lot of these lads will be riding for jobs next year, and then how teams would pursue it, like,
themselves.
That's what
it's an individual sport, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
But then but people don't see that. Like, why is he not having a job? But then they've got to think about, well, there'll be lots of little team orders behind the scenes going, right, don't get mixed up, or that rider could be riding for that team next year with not many people knowing, and it's like the deep-sided,
I think
seeded side of the sport.
Probably
Vickers can pull the pin.
Well, also Andy Irwin. What's Andy Irwin going to do if he's on the pace?
I think he will be.
Yeah, and he's in a different. I never thought about seeing him
family-wise.
Well, just he's got his brother on one hand, his teammate on the other hand, and is he going to stay at Honda next year?
That's the problem. He's kind of racing for a job. You'd have to wonder what his team thought about, or thinks about him. And in a way, Andy's torn because it's his brother.
Yeah. What would you do? And he wants him to win a
family first, for God's sake.
You would think blood's thicker than water, wouldn't you?
Well, you would.
It's Glenn's up against it. Like, you look at them points, he is up against it. But like you say, is this three races or 4 races?
Like you say, this is Monday before Friday of practice. Collarbone breaks and anything can happen.
Yeah, but honestly, the bad news is he's relying on other people's mistakes, even if he can.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a few wizard sleeve jobs from him, haven't we, before?
Yeah.
But he's made some out of nothing. But I called all last weekend.
Champion.
Who?
What about? I tell you what. Like, speaking of like championships and like points deciders, like Davey Todd and Joe Talbot.
Yeah, good one.
That is
every championship's great.
Yeah.
Super Sport is as well.
Yeah.
What's the point difference? Have you got the points difference on that? It's
We
like,
can certainly.
Davey's back in front, isn't he?
Yeah, by not a huge margin, is it?
No.
because it like that's a different. Because I tell you what, Joe Talbot in the rain. Did you watch that? You're going off reference on Alton Park.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Brilliant.
He got ran on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like into the last quarter. We outbraked himself anyway. Went to the
Mossie's
back.
fourth in the championship. That's
that?
mad. That Mossie's fourth in the championship.
And when did he come in? Snitted.
That's insane. That.
Yeah. Missed 2 rounds.
Is it 2 or 3?
He's only 1 point behind Scott Swan, so he basically could finish top 3 in the championship.
And Scott Swan switched on, didn't
Mossy
he?
would be quick at Brands. I would put him down for 2
Well,
wins.
Mossy were brilliant there last time. Came from 26th on grid through a second, would have won it in another lap, and then won other. So he's had a win and a second already. I don't know.
Todd's 11 points in front.
Yeah.
So he could. Is everyone's points extended? I think.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
Let me just go check the truck. You two kids carry on.
Yeah. I mean, I think. I again, I wouldn't have a favourite for that. I think Todd has had a brilliant year. I think he's had a brilliant year at the Isle of Man on the roads as well. He's really found himself. You see him as a genuine kind of top roadsman now.
Yeah, 100%.
And fair play to the lad. But Joe Talbot is still 20, I think. Has he gone 21 yet, Joe?
I'm not sure. He's young.
I think he's 20.
He is 20. He's definitely 20. And obviously he's riding in the next year with job security, isn't he? Two-year Yamaha deal.
That certainly relaxes you a little bit going into the last round.
Yeah, but is it relaxing?
It won't relax him. He's an angry. I mean that in a really positive way. The lad has got a lot of aggression, and we love that.
Yeah.
I love where he rides, and he's a good kid, nice kid, hard-working bloke.
We actually interviewed him, and I was absolutely blown away with it. Like his demeanour, you'd think at 19, you'd think he'd be full of himself, everything like that. I knew nothing about him. We put him on the show, and I just went, he's like a 40-year-old.
He's a great lad.
In a night.
Yeah,
I've never actually met him. I don't know what he's like.
No, he's a lovely lad. Don't smile a lot, but he's very. No. But he does when he knows that. Because I said to him when we were interviewing him, we've interviewed him 3 or 4 times this year for Eurosport, and I've said, "You happy enough for your racing?" Yeah. I said, "Tell your face."
Yeah.
He smiled at me, and now he sees me. He puts a big.
That's class.
He's a lovely lad, really nice lad,
Oh,
hard-working lad. Family runs a garage,
Right.
working on cars, and he's a proper grafter.
Oh, that's good.
Dad turns up with the bike in the truck, proper old school. You know, he's good. He's a really good lad. Does a lot of boxing. If there's a fight in the clubhouse, you never want to be on his side, not the other side.
Him and Morgan. That's what you need in the corner.
Yeah, that's what you need. Yeah.
Should we do like a A prediction for every championship.
That's a great idea. So hold on, I think. Well, my little prediction is Davy's probably going to get it. I think.
Yeah, I'd go David. David's come back a little bit.
He's
11 points. So
yeah,
if
and
he
he goes in with the mathematical advantage.
Yeah. But then Talbot, if it's wet like that's,
you never know, do you?
You never know.
Yeah, but he essentially could follow him home in both races, and the job's done, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's not going to do that, but because they won't build it.
Yeah, but then you got Swanee can get a bite on.
Yeah, Swanee's had a good
can get a bite on.
Yeah, really.
Love Swanee, nice kid, quietly spoken. Yeah. Race with his dad. His dad was a cracking rider.
Yeah.
Michael, really good rider.
His dad was the instructor for all the national road race. You know, he takes people around Northwest and everything.
Yeah, no, lovely. Never really travelled that well or that much. Them lads like Alan Irwin, Michael Swan, them lads could have done really well at British Championship. They all had good 500s back in the day, but never just didn't travel.
Yeah.
They were quite happy racing in Ireland.
Yeah.
So his dad could ride, and so Scott's had a really good year. That he's really found something in himself on that Honda. Who else? Mossie's rediscovered what was a flagging. He was ready for packing him up, lad.
Yeah.
And it's great to see because we like Mossy.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see him on a supersport bike.
A supersport?
Don't know why.
He's looking at superbike now.
Yeah.
Well, he's won. Remember when he did the double on the Kawasaki around there? You know, the lad can pedal a motorcycle for God's sake.
What did him with its big crash at Truxton?
Yeah,
he's back. I remember that. Yeah, on the start and finish straight.
Yeah.
Well, it's not straight, but
what's happened to he's part of the youth club, man. Stock 1000. He moved up the pathway, but then
Alex Olsen.
Olsen, what happened? He's just
don't know.
Hasn't he?
Part of company with the team, mutual agreement, blah blah blah, like it always is now.
All right.
Don't know. He's a good bloke, nice bloke.
Yeah,
Alex.
He was a peddler on that side of things. But let's quickly round that up. So we've got basically the fights are between Bridewell and Ride.
Yeah,
they're really numbers wise.
Yeah, I'm going. Kyle.
I'm going to say Kyle.
Oh, I'm just going to play the fun game here. I'm going to go Tommy just for the crack. Put a quid on it. Put a quid on.
Yeah.
So and then we've got the fight for Stock 1000. We've got.
I think Todd. He's just got the advantage mathematically.
That's what I think.
But if it's
but mentioning dispatches for Talbot's put a great championship together, and had one of the rides of the year, at Alton Park.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was some ride, wasn't it?
Good ride, that.
Through the field for that.
And what about Supersport? Who's doing what? Is it just between Kennedy and?
I'm going to go Jack.
That's because you're mates with him. You've got him.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jack. He's left himself a little bit of work to do now, because
what is this?
He's third, isn't he?
Yeah, fucking Stapleford. I felt for him.
And he's not a crasher.
No, I felt for him at Donington. I thought, you unlucky.
I absolutely
unlucky man.
Because he's been every bit as good as Jack
100%.
this year. He's been brilliant as Luke.
He's been better on days.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, and Jack's been better on others. But yeah.
I think. Where's the points situation? I think it's 19 points.
Yeah, I think
from
you're
memory.
right. I think you're right.
21.
Yeah,
not back to. That's back to Curry.
All right.
And Stapleford's behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only 1 point.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make that much difference.
So I'm going Jack.
Yeah, I'd say the.
I don't think there's
any. Is that a little bit different with the wet or?
No, I think Jack will go well at wet.
He doesn't care.
Ben goes really well at wet, but Jack knows what he's got to do. And
I think Ben isn't as headstrong. Just being honest, I think that he suffers a bit with pressure. Sorry, suffers a bit with the pressure, doesn't he? And I think if it's a dogfight between the three of them, in any sort of iffy conditions, I'd put my money on Jack.
They've all made mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, Jack didn't need to crash at Cadwell.
Jack crashed in Cadwell. He also crashed in the wet. Mind you, everybody did crash in the wet.
Yeah, Snetterton. He really didn't do either of those yet.
Ben didn't need to. That bottom of the mountain thing for Ben cost him.
Yeah. But I just think, like, when you see, if you look back through all the season, when the three of them at the start of the season were really close, and then I think Stapleford and Jack just had that extra couple of percent.
Yes, they did.
In the mid-season. Yeah, I think I'd put my money on Jack.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be a simple fight though. I think they'll all be there.
I think you'd have to put your money on Jack.
I think TJ Thomas would super well, didn't he? He's
brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, at Donington. Yeah, and
First time I spoke to him this year. Yeah, good bloke.
I think he'll be.
And he looks a bit bad, doesn't he? bit marked up in him. You know what I mean?
He's missing a finger. He lost his finger at the beginning of the year at Califat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talk about battered up. He's well hungry for it.
I think McManus could be somewhere near about the pace as well for Brands. Brands always seems to drag them a bit close. I know
McManus is a quick anyway.
He's comes good right at the end of races this year as well, which is like not what you would expect from him. Normally been the other way around. They're not shy. I wouldn't want to get in a scrap with them. Definitely not.
And then F900s, we've got Strudwick. He's away with it.
Yeah,
isn't he? I think it's.
You
got Coates, haven't you? You know what I mean?
I would say Strudwick's probably gonna.
But hasn't it been decided?
No.
I think it goes into that fight. I'm trying to think. So we've got.
It could have been decided last race at Donington, but it wasn't. That's right.
No, because he didn't. I think he had a win, didn't he?
Yeah, it's weird, but it takes a bit of working out because they get points for heats.
Yeah.
So it's a really difficult one to.
I like the format. So I did it at Donington. I'm doing it at Brands. I loved the format of 2 races, like a qualifying race.
Yeah.
It was mint because I just hate qualifying anyway, and it was just. I'd be happy if we just raced on Friday morning, to be honest.
Yeah.
In that class.
I would always a racer more than a.
It just was good. I enjoyed it. It was first experience of it. It was good.
Do you reckon BMW could persuade you to hop on a F9?
Can't race, can I? Well, I've only got one eye. I had my eye removed, didn't I? You don't know that?
No.
Can't get a licence.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all, no.
Yeah.
We won't tell anyone. Don't worry about it.
It's just told fucking a lot of people.
It's all right. Grace will edit this bit out, man. It'll be all right. Go on, I'll sign it off. Yeah. All right. What's it like?
Got infected in my eye.
Bloody hell.
Oh, Jesus. Bloody hell.
Yeah, that one's a bit out of... I don't know what they're making my eye.
That looks bloody brilliant. You wouldn't...
Looks better than the other one.
You wouldn't know.
Honestly, like, that's why me and him are sitting here dead quiet. That's incredible. Now we're just going to stare at you. That's incredible.
It used to be able to get an ACU licence with...
Brian Clark only had one eye, didn't he?
Yep. Clark had one eye, yeah. There's been a few.
So you can get it, but it's aggro, basically.
No, you can't.
Oh, now they've stopped it.
No, I tried to get my ACU licence back, and to be honest, if I were 25, I'd have fought my corner.
Yeah.
But I'm 55, so fuck them.
Yeah.
I've done my bit. You know what I mean? I get it.
Class. So, and the other the 400, that's been decided, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's.
No, the sport bike classes.
No, sport bike class is still open. What is the?
It's Colombian. Cooper cartwheeled it down Craner, didn't he?
Cooper.
Did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was.
Do you know what? It's weird when I'm working at a meeting, but I'm so busy doing classes. You tend not to look. You know what it's like when you're racing. You don't. You focus on your own job, aren't you? You know what I mean. You're just cracking on. But it's that Columbi lad. It's, isn't it?
It just like, hello, you're all right, and then just
brilliant.
It just
20. There's 21 points to Columbi.
And Columbi's right. That's class. And
some lad,
but then you're talking about like controlling a class, and everyone's going, "Oh, these Aprilias." He's the only Aprilia that high up the order.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's incredible.
I think at the beginning of the season he came with a bike that Bennett might have been a new class, and he'd raced that class for 2 years.
Exactly.
He come on
so
there.
I think he came and he hit the ground running more than a lot of other people. But I think it has levelled out now.
Yeah. But I love the sound of that Triumph.
Great lad. Time's mint, innit?
I love the sound.
Triples always sounds.
But it just shows the class. Like you say, using Columbia as an example, has he got a future in British? Because him being able to chase Cooper and beat Cooper. Because Cooper can pedal a motorcycle.
Well, I think the championship as BSB across the classes would be daft to lose him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? He starts doing all right, making a few quid, and sort of blazing a trail for younger continental, especially Italian riders. Can you imagine? We're all saying, "Oh yeah, but if you're not Italian and you're not Spanish, you're never going to get into MotoGP," and that's pretty true. However, can you imagine if you're a really good rider in Italy, but not just quite good enough to go through that, or you're just a bit old if you're not 12-year-old and plucked and polished and sent into MotoGP? What are you going to do? So if he can prove that really talented lads in the late teens, early 20s have been sort of put off the Grand Prix route, 'cause it ain't working for him. It ain't working. Yeah. He was in that 300 at world level.
Yeah.
He'd done some rounds of that. And he comes to Britain because he's got a pair of balls, and he's thought, well, I've got a Campbell, I can learn knockhill. Good on him, right? And he's blazed a trail, and I'm sure there's going to be people in Italy going, wow.
Yeah.
That's
good, man.
With a bit of adventure spirit and a bit of, I think it'd be sad to lose him.
It's good when you, we should have some more, like riders from Europe over? Because
I think so.
I think that there's a real risk of the demise of World Superbikes as well. Since MotoGP sold to the Liberty, and I honestly think that at some point it'll diminish World Superbikes to a level that people might even start looking at BSB. Might
Big
just
questions.
elevate it again, yeah.
You're coming up with the big subjects again, aren't you?
Just yeah, but
Right,
it's
yeah,
topical,
I
isn't
think
it?
you- I
It's
think you've
right,
got a
isn't
point.
it? Because
But I mean, on a more local level, I think there's bound to be people in Italy going, "Wow,
fuck it, yeah.
we were every bit as quick as him. We can
I
do
could
that."
go there and do that, yeah.
Yeah,
Earn a few quid maybe.
and I
or-
think the championship benefits from him. That people like that, I love
100%.
You know, he came at the first spoke to McDonough beginning of the year, and I just thought, good on you, lad. That's a pair of nuts you've got there, boy. You've turned up with a van, couple of mates, your dad, your mum's making some flipping sandwiches. What a flipping that's
Class.
brilliant.
But isn't it class that you can actually do that? Like
Well,
how
yeah,
good is
but-
it that
but
you can
you
actually
don't know what
do
that's
it?
going to lead to then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking at super sport, I think. And good
That'd
on
be
him.
interesting.
Brilliant,
Yeah, brilliant.
But then you'll have to bring a big pile of brass from somewhere to do that. 'Cause
Oh, bring his own
unfortunately,
bike.
Yeah.
there is that. But anyway, we're not going to go down the
Anyway,
money
all
element
right.
too much.
No, we're not.
There we are. But I'll tell you what, let's talk a little bit more into the future. The new calendar change. You know,
Yep.
we've got Assen back.
Yeah, no Navarra and Assenbach, that's your big change. Late start as well. May start, 3rd of May.
Do you agree with that?
It's not traditional, is it? It's always been an April sort of start for BSB, more or less. Whether you agree or not, means it's going to be a longer, colder winter for me.
But I think
For-
not just yourself either. I think all the fans listening and everything. You think we're not going to get going before the week before the Northwest.
Yeah.
And you're thinking because then
It's
that
a late
is
start.
tight- it's
I mean,
tight for that, yeah.
we'll see, won't we? You're likely to get better weather. I get that. But then again, we're going in late. We're going later at the end of the year, aren't we? It's end of October.
Right.
right.
So it does make a difference.
Glad to be going back to Assen. I think that's brilliant. I think it's a totally, people say, "Oh well, why aren't we going to Nevada then?"
Yeah, why
if
is
we're going- Yeah, because Nevada's a long way. For some people in the south of England, it's easier to get to Assen than it is, and they get a bit of help from the ferry people.
It's easier to go for us in the. It's Assen was for us in 2014 was the last time I would have went there.
North Sea ferries.
Yeah,
Doddle.
piece of piss. 2 hours off the ferry.
Doddle.
It's quicker. It's the quickest circuit to get to from Newcastle.
Yep.
If you don't count the ferry,
Brilliant.
it's 10 minutes to the ferry, 2 hours either side.
Yep.
Without I went and did Spa, and it was got on 5:30 on the boat, kept on the boat, and then 3 hours I was at Spa.
Yeah.
Spa.
Yeah.
And you're thinking it took longer to get to Alton Park at 4 and a bit hours. So you think
I went to that Bikers Classic with a bunch of my mates on a 1972 TS50. And I've done it on a Fizzy as well. That's how close Spa is.
Oh, that's class.
But no, it's like what else? Because we've got Navarra testing. Is there more testing, or have I made that up, or is it
No,
similar
no,
amount of testing?
I think
the
there are
same
more
limit?
testing. There's definitely a Navarra test on. People will take that. I actually, apart from a really late start, I think looks all right to me.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm glad we're going back to Assen. I can
Me too.
feel
Brilliant.
the hangover already.
Brilliant.
With that,
It's just a good place.
it is, and just
They-
like
They're good people. It's a great circuit.
Yeah.
They want us there. Easy for people to travel. Groningen's a brilliant place anyway.
yeah, it's class. Yeah,
So the dates got 6th and 7th of April is Navarra. That's test number 1.
Yeah.
And the 18th and 19th of April, Donington Park GP.
Yeah.
And then we've got the 23rd and 24th of April, and that's Alton Park.
And
Yeah.
then you're straight into
And then 3rd, 4th, and 5th of May is Alton Park round 1.
right. So have a look at the last round.
Last round is the 17th, 18th, and 19th at Brands Hatch of October.
it's a week
Yeah,
later
so-
then, isn't it?
So it's basically 1 week later.
Yeah,
One week later.
we
So-
could make all the difference. That
Yeah. Well, weather ain't going to get any better.
Better.
Than that, is it? But hey, listen, it is what it is. I guess I don't think there's anything wrong with calendar.
it might make the BSB tests a bit more valuable because a lot of how many times we've been to Donington for an official test and it's like fucking too cold or too wet to ride, or so it might be better.
Because like at the end of the day, Pirelli recommend their tyres. They say their products don't work below 10 degrees. It obviously they work, but not at an optimum
Christ,
air
don't say
temperature.
that, man.
It'll be fucking 6 degrees next week.
I've got.
No, they do. But they sort of like race
Hey,
temperature.
listen, we
you know what I
run
mean?
Pirelli Metzler on our track training instructor bikes. We're not running what they run at BSB.
Oh, that's the difference. Isn't
Real
it?
bad,
I've done croft at 4 degrees on Metzlers in their work. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's unsafe.
We run
but
Metzler's brilliant.
But as far as like a tyre, you know, getting involved with a championship going,
Which
well,
is a
they
different thing. I
recommend
get that.
10
I get that. Yeah.
10 degrees
Yeah.
trying to get the time up. So like you say, moving it forward. But the latter end of the year, you know, it's only going to
It'd be
get
something
a bit
different, wouldn't it? It'd be good. I think the new points thing this year has been interesting as well.
I do.
It feels a bit more traditional.
It's a bit more traditional, but you've still got that showdown.
Element
I
at
think
the
it's
end,
been
yeah.
all right. Honestly, I think credit where credit's due. I know we're a bit negative about super sport rules, but that was a general comment on these power to weight classes that we have to have now.
Yep.
Not that anybody's, that Iggsy and Scott Smart's done it wrong. I think they did a cracking job.
If there's one thing that I would love to see at BSB would be an adventure bike class.
You can't do it, can you?
Nah, because you couldn't ride a GS.
You can't do it.
Yeah, but
Because
the
it
Americans did it with that Harley thing.
Oh yeah, but them things cost £500,000 a piece, man. It's never
there
seen
is-
a
there
Harley.
is a-
Every part of them.
It's never seen a Harley.
It's never seen a Harley, right? And I am convinced.
They're like superbikes, aren't
I'm
they?
absolutely convinced that what's happened with them is, it's almost like it's a freak show, right? It's almost like going to see the flipping. Back in the circus, his tattooed lady or flipping, whatever, the Spider Baby, right? On Father Ted. It's because, wow, have you seen them idiots racing them bagger bikes with the box on it? Oh, yeah, mint, brilliant, everything's scraping, it's great. They slide them everywhere. It's like the truck racing thing.
Yeah.
And you've seen it a few times. Like,
boring.
yeah, you know what? Seen that. So, to have it over here cannot work. There isn't the interest in them type of bikes.
Nah.
They were going to bring them here, though.
They were going to bring it
Wait, what happened to that?
for a demonstration.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
But
them
all
things cost £500,000 to build.
Yeah.
They are more expensive than any superbike.
Yeah, one of our Norton dealers is an Indian dealer, and they had one in there, and I could not. It was like a superbike, swing arm on it, like
Every single part's made special because
Yeah.
it has to be because
Yeah, but with that-
it's not
the rest of
capable.
it's shit.
Yeah.
General public, would that sell a bike?
No,
Looking at something like that. No. Like at the end of the day, lads, you know what a superbike looks like. But when you think, I could go buy one of them, go take the missus on the back, and like have
don't
the
think people
illusion
look-
that I
it's
could do
like-
that.
it's like
No, I'm
saying-
just, you know what I mean?
What is the? I mean, the general. My general feeling is there's no point to any of this, right? Motorbike racing, going and making petrol into noise and smoke around a circuit, right? Round and round and round and round, and getting a cup at the end of it and a few quid, right? Is a pointless exercise. But then you've got to accept that all sports are.
Yep.
Right? Every
Exactly.
sport's
Why would you do
Completely
it?
agree.
Yeah.
You do it because of the passion and because you want to do it and you enjoy it and it's good to watch if you go and watch. But for somebody to go, even now, you go to a British Championship, nobody's going to buy. How many R1s are they import? They're stopping doing R1s, stopping doing
Yeah.
blades, stopping doing ZX10s. It's not. I get the brand awareness thing,
Yeah, that's it, really.
but nobody's going to go and buy, and especially when you're looking at, can you imagine an adventure race? You'd be looking at a GS or any other, I'm not picking BMs, I'm not being down a bit, but everybody has a GS, right? There's millions of them. So you get your adventure bike race, so somebody's going to be, you'd be on one, or there'd be a few quid, right? So you get a Barry Burrell on it, or you'd be doing things with that bike that make it look like the worst bike in the world. You're making it do something we're never designed to do. So you're gonna be the opposite. You're gonna get somebody going, "Wow,
That's
we're gonna
just-
get one of them," but
not
look at it,
now,
man.
yeah.
It's all over the fucking place.
I do think like a.
right though, isn't it?
They have done a series for it in France. It was Sport at the Bordeaux. They had a sport race there, and that's the first time I've ever seen it.
That's class.
And I thought,
Well,
that might be cool.
I'll tell you what, as near as I can get to that is, I was racing a super sport bike for Belgarda, the factory Yamaha team, basically. Me, Cazzola, then superbike team might even have been in Haga's time. Yeah, Haga. Factory 500 teams, as was then. It was just at the end of the 500 time. This had been one maybe. Carlos Checa. Who else? Maybe Biaggi, Anyway, we were all down there, this Yam Fest at Misano, middle of summer, Yam Fest, every Yamaha thing's there, big festival. So it was the year that the T-Max, that 500 twin cylinder super scooter came out, right? And they said, we've got this publicity stunt to
Get used.
we're going to get all you lads. So me, Aga, and some Spanish national champion races on Supersport and Superbike, and some Italian. So 20 of us, right? All decent level international standard riders on T-Maxes. It's fucking carnage. And instead of people going, wow, look at Biaggi go on that flipping scooter, I'm going to buy one to ride to work. People are going, oh wow, that's awful, isn't it? Look, another one's gone in the fence. It was a completely bonkers thing. Why would you? Oh.
What do you think of having the?
But listen to the memories though. Look at them.
Yeah, but like but in general, like at BSB level, what are your thoughts on having like a production class, like a one? Like I know there's the F900, but
yeah,
something a little bit more not
racer,
one make
sporty.
series.
Yeah, well you can.
Yeah, but
The problem, even in my day, I did a lot of racing on when British Production Championship was a production class, right?
Yeah.
Bear in mind, all the manufacturers were producing either a 1 litre, in Suzuki's case, in my case, it was 1100, GSXR 1100. They produced a GSXR 750, GSXR 600. Honda didn't want to call it Fireblade, then it was CBR, 1000R.
Something.
Before the Fireblade right in 92, this is a bit late 80s. The biker choice generally through them years were 1000 Yam, X-Up, and then first Genesis, then the X-Up. So, ever ZX10, the original incarnation of ZX10 Kawasaki, and others.
Yeah.
The problem with it is, then at that time, job were moving forward, bikes were developing a lot.
Yeah.
So 1 year, the GSXR 1100 would be the one to beat, and so everybody bought one. Next year, 1000 Yam was the one to beat. So, can you imagine having a production championship now?
You just wouldn't know what to be on, would you?
Well, you'd have to be on one particular bike,
Yeah.
and at the minute, it looks like it would be the
Honda Fireblade.
Honda Blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then next year it might be that new BM. You don't know, do you?
Yeah.
So you're always going to end it with almost. But then again, does that matter? If I think back to when I was first going watching racing in the 70s, virtually every person on the grid was on a 250 race. Was on TZ Yamaha.
Yeah.
Every person in the 350 race. Every person, not nearly every person, TZ Yamaha.
Yeah.
So, and not once did we say, oh well. It's like a single bait championship. But it's just how it was.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
I think I just think they I quite like that thing, the body racing.
Well,
I think it's
then
good. Way up.
This wasn't, you say, well, we've got Superstock, but actually Proddy racing in the 80s was production bikes. It had to have a horn, it had to work. You could alter fork internals, but you couldn't do everything you wanted. Fork internals could be altered, brake pads, footrest position, handlebar position, exhaust was standard, lights had to work, you could take indicators off, but that's it.
That's good.
That's it.
Superstock's not like that.
It's when you see like the TT photos of them going down Bray Hill with the license plate holding the back with a race number on it. Looked amazing, man.
I finished. I've had a third in a 600 stock 600 Suzuki, and I finished fourth to Leachy's Lop and Foggy in a production 750 on a GSXR, and that was a road bike. The thing was registered. You could put a number on it ride it to me.
That's class.
But the problem with that is when they fell down.
Carnage.
Carnage.
Yeah.
Wires everywhere.
They do that super hooligan thing in America, don't they, as well, which is like 790 Dukes and FTR and stuff like that. I think they would be alright bikes. A naked class.
Yeah, naked class. Everybody uses a naked bike.
Yeah, because I think like they're quite popular now as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of options.
They are really popular.
There's plenty of options for them.
On my track days, especially in the green group, where people have their first 1 or 2 goals at track days, there's virtually no sports bikes.
No, they're all on something
They're all
like that.
on MT range, street triple, speed triple, BMs that do a XR, the big naked BM.
Oh, the XR, the 1000 seat, yeah.
So there's that type of thing.
Yeah.
And they're better off on them.
Yeah, no, they just think they're good bikes as well. I like ride them on the road. They're nice.
Yeah, me too.
Love it, absolutely love it. But I tell you what,
oh, patrons.
No, I was about to say, I'm looking at Grace the gaffer in the corner, and I figure we could sit here and chat absolutely all day, but we're going to get through the is it Patreon? We were discussing this before. Patreon.
I don't know. I want to know what the difference. Anybody out there can tell me the difference between a patron and a Patreon. The patron, if you had a shop and somebody patronises your shop, it means they come and bought their shit at your shop, right? It's a patron.
Yeah.
Somebody who supports a business. So what's a Patreon?
One's got an E on the end.
No, one's got an E in the middle.
No.
I hope loads of people come to you with
Is that
brands
an American,
now.
Is it an American thing?
Must be an American thing. Must be an American thing.
I don't know.
But there we go.
We'll have to Google it.
We'll have to Google it.
I'm going to Google it while you're doing the questions.
But we've got first one from Chris here. Has James got any plans to release another book at some point? As I'm sure he has many good stories to tell.
I think it's basically 20 years since I did the book.
20 years?
Yeah, 20 years. I did it very shortly after I finished racing, and I'd have to bring it up to date, maybe put another couple of chapters in there. But I don't know, it has been mentioned. But I mean, who'll buy that, really? All right, my mum would have one.
Mark Dobson, what would you have done career-wise if you weren't into racing?
Oh, my God.
Oh, I like that one. That is a good one, Mark.
I wasn't unintelligent at school. I was all right. I got 9 O-levels, so I was all right.
And he can fly a plane. You can't
no,
be a
couldn't
divvy to
then.
fly a plane.
I think I would have gone into... I'll tell you what I fancied. Teaching.
Shut up, man.
Teaching.
What were you-
Chrissy
what sort of
Rouse
teaching?
will be listening to this right now.
Well,
going,
the thing
no
is,
way.
and Chrissy might have been saying, it's something you meet or something you see when you're a kid that just... And might be racing. That racing were like that with me. But I had a teacher called Mr. Lenton at school, and he was brilliant. It was a woodwork, metalwork, practical,
Yeah.
technical drawing. It's called design and technology now, isn't it? But anyway, he said to me, and I'd always stop behind and help him with stuff because I like using his lathes, and you could just stop back like a club to make extra things, casting things. And he loved a few of us stopped back, and he said, "Do you know what? You want to look at career-wise? This is when I'm about 14 or 15, coming into end of my school."
Yeah.
And he said, "Teaching, you're good. You like talking. You're not, you're intelligent enough." He said, "Teaching, you'd fit right in, and you'd love it."
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, yeah. So I always fancied that, but trouble is I started racing at 16, and then you know what it's like.
It goes out
your head just goes, your head drops off, and you can't think about nothing else. Nothing else. I didn't put my head up out of racing for probably 15 years until I actually thought about anything else. Didn't learn to fly till 2000. I live in a fucking airfield.
Is that right?
2000.
Honestly, yeah.
Did you have any interest in it?
Not interested.
Just
motorbikes, wasn't it?
It was nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else existed. It was so weird.
Yeah.
I think that's a man thing. That's a really bad thing about men's brains. They can only just
one job at a time.
That's one job at a time, isn't it?
And would you? So if you had to do that again, do you think it's hard to say that, isn't it? But would you have seriously consider doing something like teaching?
Imagine him as your teacher. That would be one of the coolest teachers
very
in the
real-
world.
very
Imagine
real.
I
it.
think it's a lot harder now.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder now. I think.
No way.
I think it's a lot.
Oh,
I think
it
it's,
is.
I want.
No. I'm saying no way would I do it. Sorry.
No.
No way would I
I'll
do
tell
it.
you, knowing what I know about flying now and how much I like me flying, it's like motorbiking. Honestly, same feeling, same. It's the
buzz,
same
like,
skills.
yeah.
Somehow it's same. Whether I'd have had the determination to push through, because it's heavy workload at the front end. Commercial pilot.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to be a commercial pilot. I've got mates who are commercial pilots. Not who we're at school with, but people I've known through flying who are commercial pilots.
Oh, I actually worked with him when.
I really wanted to do an
one of the
imitation.
guys, I forget his name now. Andy.
Tilling.
Yes.
Andy Tilling.
What a great bloke.
What a lad he is.
He came when we were running Jack on the Kawasaki in
He was
21.
driving a truck.
Yeah, he just turned up one round.
Yeah,
and
because he lost his job through COVID.
Yeah.
Because he was an airline pilot.
And he was mutual sponsor, XL, Hank. And then we all got taught, fuck me, he just turned up one weekend
Andy
to help out.
Tillings,
What a brilliant bloke.
Rides a bike well.
Yeah.
Flies an aeroplane well. He's just such a good bloke.
Yeah.
But he's a commercial pilot.
Yeah. And he's good on the piss as well. He was good.
Yeah. Steady now. Steady. He's still working in the industry.
Yeah, no.
Time and a place.
I'll tell you what, that leads us on to the next good question. Jake Knox, what's your favourite pint and pub snack?
I don't do a lot of pub stuff. I go on a Friday to a local pub because a lot of my motorbikey local mates go in. I'll stop for an hour and a half, 2 hours maximum. Bit different. At Christmas we'll plan a few nights out, but I'm not one of these who goes to a pub more than one. I would never go to a pub more than once a week. It's called the Woodman. It's a nice little pub, and my tipple would be a kind of. I like a blonde. She just can't drink very well, so I like the. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I like the blondie beer because it's about
There we are,
3
blondie
point-
beard started in there. Just
Yeah, I don't know what it is, like 3.5% instead of, you know, your Peronis and that, they're popping on you.
Strong on
It's
there.
flipping like 500%, man. I can't drink that shit. Tasty, but
It is. I've gone right. I've
least
gone
to
right
know
off
good.
lager. Blondes are nice.
So you two keep going. I'm going through the questions here.
find a good one.
It says, would you ever...
What?
This is actually a really good question back from Maggie Day. Would you ever jump on an adventure bike and go around the world?
Yeah, I would. I do. Probably what you don't know about me is I'm just saying, I do. I won't say quite a lot because I never get time to do as much as what I'd like to do. But I've got 3 or 4 different groups, completely separate groups. So one is the all-ride road bikes, adventure bikes, and we're not. I mean, let's be honest. The adventure thing, right? It's a load of bollocks anyway because they sell you an adventure bike, right, with 2.5 feet of flipping ground clearance, right? You're never going off-road on that thing, man. You're going to South Coast or Normandy to look at some flipping old tanks. Or you're doing the North Coast 500 and bumping into the back of a lot of flipping motorhomes. So, to me, the adventure bike things... I saw going round the world like Charlie and flipping Ewan, nah, not that bothered. But I do quite a lot of riding. So we've done all over France, we've been to Spain, North Coast 500 a couple of times, but like I said, too busy. We're up in Scotland 2 weeks ago, but we did his own little routes, mega roads up there, avoiding the...
Yeah.
And we got good weather.
Where do you go, like right north, or do you...
Yeah, and right across the middle, but mostly avoid... We ended up having to go onto some of that North Coast 500. It's great, but it's too busy.
Yeah.
Well, it's very popular now. We went over to Applecross and looked west over Skye as the sun went down, blah, blah, blah. It was very good. We've done... Battlefield tours at Ypres, we've done Verdun, I've ridden to Chemnitz to look at MZ Museum, I've been to Colditz Castle, I've been to Hitler's flipping Berchtesgaden Garden Mountain Retreat, Eagle's Nest. So I've done all that, so I do a lot of riding. Not a lot of riding, I'll do, I don't know, 4,000 miles a year maybe. Yeah. On a, got a Tenere now.
Oh, have you?
But I've lowered it. And everybody at Yamaha who I got it off, bless them, they're going, oh, you can get on this gravel road and this off-road, and we've had a motocrosser doing some jumps, they're brilliant. I'm like, yeah,
that's a bit more off-road orientated one, isn't it?
Brilliant bike.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. But it's great on road.
Yeah.
He's getting up.
I've got an S, a KTM 1290S.
Brilliant.
It's so... I took it on track day for Bennett, actually.
Brilliant.
And it was actually really good, yeah.
The only downside to and it's not a downside, the only thing about comparing to Multistrada, 1200 KTM Adventure, or even modern GS's, the poor little Yamaha is just a bit underpowered if you're having a race.
Yeah.
However, it's lighter.
Yeah.
It's so much lighter.
You just have to rev them a bit more, don't you? And you're constantly up and down gears.
Of our party, right, who'll go off riding, I'm the only one who can do big wheelies. Because you can turn it off to off-road. It's got none of that. So... Especially when you get a top box on back that's sticking out 2 foot.
Yeah.
Get your flipping smalls in there, man.
Well, I got the panniers for mine for that reason, because the mine's a 21. The first year they brought the bladder tank out for that.
Yeah.
So the weight's a lot lower.
Yeah.
And they did on the switchgear, they've got like a shortcut button. So you can pre-select it to go to somewhere on the dash.
Yeah.
So you can turn all the anti-wheelie and stuff off like that. And it's fantastic for wheelies. With the panniers on.
Yeah.
If you pack them
Very
right
stable.
so they're level.
Stable. I thought that. I've got my top box full of crap. And I'm thinking, oh, nice. Lovely, this. So,
they're good. I love them, yeah.
So I do quite a lot of
Have you been
riding.
any... Sorry, I know we're just geeking out on travel
No,
here.
crack on.
But have you been to like Isle of Mull and Isle of Arran and Bute and stuff like
the
that?
lads, the Scottish lads, this is Simpson, Moody, McPherson, McFarlane, Morrison, all them lads who I ride with. That's one of my crews.
Yeah.
They've done all of Scotland. I can only make some of it because of obviously work commitments, but I've done a lot of riding in Scotland with a bit. We've done Mull Kintyre, but they've been to Harris, Lewis. I'll tell you where I did go a few years ago. I went on the 21st of June. I rode up to Aberdeen. I got on a ferry. I went to Lerwick in the Shetlands. I got my motorbike. I rode north, got on another little ferry, rode north, got on another little ferry, and then you're like on a rowing boat at the end. And I got to there is other islands of the British Islands a bit further north, but they're uninhabited. I got to the northernmost inhabited island of the British Isles to watch the sun go down. and then come back up on 21st. Summer solstice. Don't get dark. Don't get dark.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was good.
It is. I like going on them. The best one I went to was at Isle of Arran. I ran out of petrol. We got there. We fucked about getting there for ages. It was 6 of us, all on adventurous bikes. One lad's only got one arm, bless him. He let him more camping, and so that was another story. But we got there, pulled up at a campsite. It was like 25 degrees all weekend. Couldn't believe the weather was amazing.
We got amazing.
And it was like, anyway, the next day we're riding around this island. There's a road that goes through the middle of the Isle of Arran. It's called the String. You can imagine why. It's fucking amazing road. And we were back and forth doing wheelies up and down this bit of stretch of a particular road, a nice crest in the road, and fucking ran out of petrol. And I don't know if you know this, but on the Isle of Arran, the petrol stations are closed on weekends.
I'm surprised there is one.
So there is one, but it's fucking shut until a Monday. So we had to find a farm, push the bikes up there. We're fucking begging petrol.
I bet you looked after one, yeah?
Yeah. The guy was unreal. He was class. Wouldn't take any money or nothing. But we tried. He just wasn't having it. He's like, fill it up, lads. Crack on.
We kept crossing the North Coast 500. This was 2 weeks ago when we were in Scotland. And we kept bumping into, not the same people, but the same type of people. Lots of people in campers, few on motorbikes, some in sports cars, etc. But we kept seeing, we first saw a 2CV, a battered yellow 2CV on French plates with a Union flag and a French tricolor out the top right. Whatever, what's it called? It is that's Italian.
Yeah.
Anyway, French flag,
yeah.
Right? So we're waving, they're waving. Clearly French. Then we saw another one. Then we saw one of them Avants, them pre-war Citroens that are beautiful. One of them with the flags out. So clearly there's some Citroen-based classic car trip round the North Coast 500. There were loads of them. And we finally stopped in a little lookout point at Glencoe on his way back before we went west again. And I said to him, you want some kind of like Citroens? Yes. I won't do accent because I sound Welsh. but really the man was French, right? With his wife with him. And I said, how many sets off? Around 50 sets off from France. How many are left? Around 40.
Yeah.
He said there's about 10 heading south. But he says some of the people have just sent the cars back and they've jumped in with the people. So they were having a great time. I love that. That's class. That. Really, really good.
That is exactly what it's about, though, doing mad shit like that.
I'd love to do like a cheap car challenge or something, but my mates are all fucking
tarts,
snowflakes. Yeah, basically that's why they don't like bikes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we'll get a couple more questions in. But Stephen Moore, my favourite lid design was Witt's Scream helmet.
Yeah.
Who came up with that idea? He's asking.
Guy who now is working for Triumph as a designer and great bloke, really good bloke. Designed about 3 or 4 of my helmets, and I love that one. Great helmet.
It's definitely stood out there, 100%. Yeah. And Simon, what would you say has been your standout highlight in your career?
I think, remember race wins, don't you? I suppose.
I'll tell you what. What's been your favourite memory? Your go-to memory every time that puts a smile on your face, linked to bike racing.
Loads of memories. I mean, being alive is about memories, I guess. In the end, whatever you do. But I think what stands out I look back at my career and I think, oh my God, I were all right. You forget now, I were all right. Do you know what I mean? And
we're sitting on your drive on a Saturday morning, you were better than all right, mate. Jesus,
someone will come up on YouTube or somebody will mention something and you think, yeah, I was all right at that one. But you forget, don't you?
That's a bit of a doer.
And I think
that's class.
I won a World Supersport round at the Donington one were good. The one off round I won their first time out on a Supersport bike. But then we had 2 home rounds really, because we had Donington and Brands as our home rounds because I was a Brit. The team's home round were Monza because they were based a mile from Monza.
Oh, really?
Track was Belgarda. So Monza round the World Superbike was, we had everybody's family, everybody who worked in the factory's family, all the sponsors, their family. There was like 400 corporate guests. It was a horrendously flipping unwieldy affair for Belgarda at Monza, World Superbike round. And I finished second there 1 year. Of the 3 years I did it on the Belgarda bike, finished second the first year, won the second, and broke down whilst had a clutch issue in the third one. So it all seemed to go well. I love Monza, but I think the second year when it's like it's super sport there because the slipstream kept everybody together. It was always lots of bikes involved, and I won my second year there, so that'd be 2001, and I think just winning that and having everybody in all the Italian sponsors and stuff thinking I was something special, then that was good. Clearly I wasn't, but yeah, we had a big night on that one. And weirdly, the band had been commissioned by Honda to play. You know, I was drumming in a band at that point, and the Honda had commissioned the band had flown them all out to play.
Oh, so they were there.
Honda do, yeah. So it was just quite a special meeting, you know.
Oh, that's class.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Alex Chapman. Would James rather never attend the TT again, or never attend a BSB round again?
Don't know.
That's a real.
That's a
awkward
hard
question.
It is a bit awkward, but I like it.
It's a nasty
though.
question. Now.
It is a
Thanks for
nasty
that.
question. That's Alex Chapman for you.
It's like saying which one would you rather
Probably.
kill, your dog or your cat?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
It's like neither.
Cat.
Well, it's cat. Isn't it? But
100%. No ifs and buts and answers. We've lost every cat lover who
Savage.
listens to the show now.
Oh, cats.
Yeah, nah.
I love cats, right? We've always had cats. Got cats up here because you're obviously stables. You've got rats and that, and mice. But cats are an independent thing, right? You try and kill it, it'd clear off on its own and live all right anyway. Your dog needs you.
Your dog loves you.
Dog needs you. Yeah.
Completely agree. TT or BSB? Which one would you?
Well, I did 9 years working at the TT and then lost it for 4 or 5 years, and I survived all right. I still watched it. I still went over every year with a trail bike. So if I didn't have to work at one of them, I would not work at the TT because I could still go back and enjoy it. I could do, you know what I mean? So,
yes.
But that's not to say I don't enjoy working at it, because I really do like being involved. I really enjoyed this year. Hard work, man. It's for riders. Now it's hectic schedule there now, isn't it? You know that. Bloody hell, you don't get a day, do you?
No, but it's the same for absolutely everyone, isn't it? Like you say, it organises TV. Like
flat to the mat for sure, isn't it?
But no, that's it. No, but I see your perspective of it. You know, you can go over to the TD and enjoy.
In a way, not working at the TT was as enjoyable because loads to do. You take your trail bike.
Yeah.
I took a camper a couple of times for 2 of those years. Parked out at Ramsey. Never even went near the paddocks. Everybody's busy and stressed and nervous, and I just watched it. Brilliant. Me, Ian Simpson, Morrison came over a couple of times. Just brilliant. Really good.
Is it scarier being a spectator than a rider, in your opinion?
No. What, TT?
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not.
Well, like
Frightened the shit clean out of me doing TT, and I did all right at the TT. I finished, had a third, a fourth, a couple of fifths, some silver replicas. I was going all right, but it frightened me.
What part of it? Like what element of it?
See, for
Just
me,
you fuck up, you die.
Just the sheer
Simple
danger
as.
of it. Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm not anti. I love the TT, and I love the idea that you're still allowed to take. Once you do, once it worries me. Once somebody who's not involved in a sport, once somebody in authority or government can say that's too dangerous for you to do.
You're not allowed.
You're not endangering anybody else, but we don't want you to do that. It's too dangerous for you. Surely that's your decision, right? Once the responsibility for your action is taken out of your hands, the job is done. Because it's not too big of a leap to go from the Alaman, oh yeah, it's outgrown, it's bikes are too fast, we'll stop that. Then a year later, somebody who's not into bikes at all, either TT or as long as look at short circuits. Well, that's dangerous as well. Christ, people actually get killed doing that as well.
Yeah.
We'll stop that. What about horse riding? Yeah, well, people get killed doing that, so we'll stop that.
There's
so
no stand, is there?
It's a real thin end of a massive wedge. So, as far as the TT goes, I will take my hat off to. I've that much respect, and I think most of the world who have any sense would look at something and not go, "You're nuts." Would go, "Mate, I take me up to that. I wish I had the nuts to do that."
Yeah.
Or I wish I knew what it felt like to be able to do that. And some take it on, right? But actually, for me, I knew there was a good chance something bad would happen because of the way I approached it.
Yeah.
I was young. I was 18 when I did Manx
Manx Grand Prix.
Not a clue what I was doing. To be fair, I really enjoyed Manx and I crashed twice. But I was stupid. But as I became aware that it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean I'd go away from it and go, ban that.
No,
Yeah.
it's just you didn't
In
fit
fact,
for
I went
what-
the other way. I went, mate, when Foggy kept going and excelled at it and did the 123 mile an hour lap that stood for 8 years or whatever it was, mate, that didn't make me go, Carl, you're nuts. I went, unbelievable. I can't believe that. That's fantastic.
Did you ever get any big opportunities at the TT that you wish you'd taken that you didn't?
Oh, I like that.
I think if I'd have kept going, I'd have been good. If I'd have survived it. Yeah, I do, yeah. Because I went at it like a short circuit. Mate, I didn't muck about. All this, oh no, we have to go hard from the start now. Not like the old days. Mate.
You went hard full stop.
We all did.
Yeah.
Boom, we were going.
Yeah.
No tyre warmers, no nothing.
Just from
We're
flat
straight
out.
into it. Yeah, so we had very different equipment, different grip levels. Circuit was very different. Well, the course was very different. You can't call it a circuit.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the reasons it worried me is we weren't mucking about.
Yeah. Serious. Like,
Yeah. And I think it's a serious thing now.
Yeah.
You have to sit down and you've got to what's the word? Reconcile with yourself and with your family and your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
You go racing motorbikes, right? We know, right? It's close to his own hearts. This is not knitting. This is not pub games. This is a serious sport, right? But the Isle of Man is another, for me, that just looking at the stats, it's another level. You've gone through all this in your mind, right? Of course you have. You're not an idiot. You've gone through this, and for you have to sit down and say, I am prepared to take that risk, right? And that's a different level of risk at Cadwell, a Retford and Club District meeting at Cadwell than it is at the TT. And that's not, to ignore it will be wrong, but also to blame somebody for doing it because you dare do it is also wrong.
Yeah.
You couldn't have
It's also
put
wrong.
that any
You
better.
can't, quite a few people, you know, they say flying is the most safe way you can travel. Right. Airliners, right? Commercial aviation, that's true. Per mile travelled, it's safer than any of it. It's safer than walking down your high street, right? However, general aviation, right? Idiots like me in little aeroplanes, that's quite a risky business, that, right? Statistically. Because you can't fly in bad weather, you might get into bad weather, whatever, right? It's just statistically.
Yeah.
So for somebody to come to me and say, well, you can't fly, that's too dangerous. Well, that's surely my choice, no?
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Yeah, that's horrendous.
That is the point of life is this. The point of being on the earth is this. You don't want to take risks. Fine.
Just don't bring anyone else down with
Just
you.
don't expect me not to.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everyone has an opinion on it. I massively got my eyes opened when I came. When did I come last year?
Something like that, yeah.
Last year when I came, I'd never been because you were always racing, couldn't afford it or whatever. Like, and then I went to watch you, and I was like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen."
So like Grace came over as well, and like Grace is like a Rouse, like brought up in racing and like came over, and unfortunately she fell in love with the place. She's sitting there nodding like.
I've actually stood there with people at. I've stood there with international races that have, lads I've raced in World Supersport, and I've stood next to Schwantz, halfway down Brill at old bloke's house. You can't stand there now. You'd have been going past, right? And he's gone. Oh man, this is a man who's done Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Kevin fucking
Schwantz,
and
the
he's
Schwantz.
going, oh my god. But it's a thing, and one of the things is it's unique. It's unique, and people say, "Well, the TC survive, right?" Well, the TT will survive with a bit of luck if people want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
If the young kids don't want to do it, they want to go into something else. Well, they won't. But that's natural. That's natural for somebody to stop it artificially when it makes money for the island. Everybody who does it really wants to do it to the point of the fact they only want to do that. They don't. Most TT riders would only do the minimum amount of short circuit racing so they can go to Isle of Man.
Yeah.
What right has anybody to stop that?
No, not all. You're right about people wanting to do it. Like, and you really get, even in the road race in Ireland, you really get a sense of that. When we went to Cookstown, I got a sense of that. It was just very much like, if you decided it was too risky, you just didn't go out. There was no pressure. Just didn't ride. Or
but I think
whatever.
One of the things that's happened, and this is taking things a little bit further, one of the things that's happened is we're brought up now to believe that nothing can be possibly your fault. Your own safety is somebody else's problem, right? So I remember being brought up. My dad had me. I mean, maybe I was a bit different. We always did a lot of haymaking. We've got quite a lot of land here. It was called a BAM. I remember its name because it was a hideous device, right? Called a Bamlet cutter bar. It's basically a 6-foot shaft with the blades going like that. That would tear you apart, right? I'm 10-year-old. My dad's taught me how to use it with a little tractor. No roll cage, no doors, no nothing, open top. And me and him at cut field. And that's one thing, you'd never let your kids do that. And maybe that's right. But also, you don't let your kids have a motorbike, you don't let your kids climb trees, you don't let your kids get dirty, you don't let them eat. So consequently, nobody ever builds up their own risk assessment. I don't need some man to come and tell me what's a risk. I know what a risk is, man. Yeah. Because I've
learned
myself.
this. Yeah.
And I've learned that. You know, it's just for somebody to have to put a notice on a door that says, be careful because a wet floor is slippy. What? If you need telling that, you are a danger to your fucking self anyway, right? Do not come in my shop. It's just nuts.
It is, isn't it?
It's nuts. And it's just completely bonkers. And what it's bred a whole generation of kids who go, oh, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
Nation's getting soft, man.
Yeah, well, that's why I think motorcycling is slowing down. Exactly that point, because it is a generation of backup snowflakes.
No, but there's still. I see some mega people, right? Lasses and lads, right? In racing, right? You spoke to Chloe Jones.
Oh, she can ride a bike.
What a flipping weapon! She's brilliant.
She is a weapon on a bike.
What a brilliant, and the way she talks, the way she puts herself across, absolutely brilliant. It doesn't matter whether you're a lass or a lad.
Yeah,
there is still some good people out there, and still some brave, forward-thinking, flipping people. But a lot of them are, and it's not their fault. Somehow it's my generation that's gone, well, you can't do that, and careful. You might get an infection. Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yeah. Will it burn if I stick my hand in that? Yeah.
Find out.
Well, go on then.
That's it.
Yeah.
Completely.
This is completely different, right? No, I can't say it.
Yes, you can.
You can. Go on.
Chasing the Racin,
have you ever had anything really smelly on your hand, right? Wherever it is, right? You cannot smell it just once.
No.
Oh,
100%. You got to double check.
You'll always have a second sniff at something bad in your hands.
Got to be.
But that's the same thing. That's your brain going, can't be that bad.
Yeah.
And once you, I don't know. I mean,
you're right.
Listen, racing is what almost the same as. Have you seen On Any Sunday the film? Made in 72, based on what happened in 69, 70 and 71 basically in American racing. Well, the film was part paid for. It was actually funded by Steve McQueen.
Oh,
I actually loved his motorbikes.
Yeah.
And nobody knows that. He put the money
knew
up, right? But he wanted to appear in it, which he did.
Yeah.
Right? And he was mates with all them, all them flat trackers, Myrtle Orwell and flipping, what were the off-roader called? He did McQueen's doubling. Malcolm Smith.
That's it.
Right. So, the other bloke had a shop. Anyway, they were all mates, and they all made this film, right? And he said, in the film, he said, do you know what? As soon as I start thinking the world's all bad, I go racing my motorbike, and I realise it's all right.
Yeah.
And I think
you're right.
That paddock is still both the Isle of Man, a little bit more so the Isle of Man. It's still full. The only thing about the Isle of Man is he's getting older paddock, which is worrying. But there's still good people in there. People who would have a puncher and know what to do on the truck on the way home. They're doing stuff, people. And other motorsports the same. I'd sell a bit of avgas to people racing. Oh, shouldn't say that. Inland Review will be after me. But anyway.
They don't listen, don't worry.
Borrow it.
And they are the same, you know what I mean? The people who won't be stuck, And you go racing your motorbike. I learnt more about life racing my motorbike for the first 4 years because I had to get myself to meetings. I needed to pass my car licence because I needed a van to get to meetings. Need to know how to mechanic an engine. Need to understand how to deal with people. No flipping sat navs. You need to be able to read a map, get yourself to flipping other side of the country, and conduct yourself in a manner that was acceptable, right? And stick up for yourself a bit sometimes as well. And that's there's nothing. That's made me the person I am, and you're the same, and you're the same. It's just I don't know. It's I do feel. There's still the good to be had somehow. Is that?
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah. Yeah, just
You've
growing
hit
up
the
in a
nail.
paddock. Yeah, growing up in a paddock for a start is just getting these, like you say, it's a life, it's education, isn't it?
It's what's it called? The University of Life.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
just class.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't change it.
I
Would never
wouldn't.
change it. It's a cruel sport sometimes, and you know that. Me and Christian were talking about this yesterday. And he said, like, what about when he's got little Toby, and Nicola's going, I'd love him to be a cyclist, and Christian's got him this bike for Christmas, blah blah blah, and I said, when I have kids, I'm not really that bothered if they go anywhere near bikes. I'll let them, but I just want to encourage them in any sport to do something. And Christian was like, actually, yeah, because this sport's actually very cruel, really. But
It is.
It's fucking when it's good, isn't it? And you learn just so much about yourself, about life in general, just how to deal with anything.
Yeah, I think it is a cruel sport. We know that. I mean, more than most. But it's a sport full of people who are mostly of a certain type, even from different backgrounds, that of a certain type. Because if you didn't have the metal, you would never get to be able to do that. You'd do 2 club races, break your collarbone at Cadwell Hairpin, and that'd be you done. And that's fine. That is fine. Do something else. But
To pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and
there's
go, I want a
something
bit
to be
more.
Yeah, there's something to be. I'll tell you what is a weird thing. There's a book called F1 Saboteurs, right? And it was really weird how the people in the racing cars and bikes in the 20s and 30s were they were upper class because they were very expensive, especially cars, but motorbikes were as well. So they're rich people. They weren't working class. However, they were of a certain type. Not every rich people, in fact, most rich people wouldn't think of going car. These were risk takers as types. And it turned out in the Second World War, a lot of them went into, and they never became, desk soldiers. They never became behind the lines. They were always saboteurs, spies, fighter pilots. They all did certain things, and it said that the same, not skill set, 'cause it's different skills, but the same mentality was very transferable to doing that sort of thing. And I thought I liked that. I quite like that. Yeah. I always thought I'd make a really good fighter pilot. I'd make a good Second World War fighter pilot. But then I got offered a backseat ride in a Tornado, with RAF.
Oh, did you?
I was very sick.
It would be.
Yeah, but
Turns out I
that's-
would have been a shit fighter pilot.
Yeah, but Tornado's a different level again, isn't it? Do you know?
Oh my God! Yeah, they spent all morning going through these briefings on various aspects of the airplane. We had a 20-minute talk on when I would be asked to eject and how I would be ordered to eject. Fucking 20 minutes into this flight, man, I'm that sick. I thought I'm going to fucking eject anyway. at least it'll be all over. There's a big yellow handle sticking up between my legs. I'm thinking, pull it. I'm off, mate.
Yeah.
Class.
Have you seen, on the subject of being a fighter pilot in the war, this always boggles my mind. I've listened to this podcast recently. It's like 13 episodes of D-Day, so like the planning,
Yeah,
from the
I've seen
French,
some of them, yeah.
and then from our perspective, etc. And they used so it didn't have loads of tanks and stuff like that. So they made on the coastline of England. They made like fake tanks and stuff, and hid it from the public and all. But they also
Third
had,
Army,
and then they had like fake planes, gliders that they towed over the channell.
Yeah, and then pointed them back.
Yeah, and then they just glided down. Someone's driving it. It's wood. It was a wooden plane, and that they'll get towed over by another plane. So they look like there was loads of planes. Then they just glide down and get them in, or go back, or whatever.
This was all in a massive effort to make it look like D-Day were going to take place in the Pas-de-Calais, not in Normandy, right? So that the Germans didn't move all of their reinforcements down. And it worked. It was a ruse, right?
Yeah, like a more modern
it was
Trojan
even better
horse
than that.
type of thing.
That inflatable tanks that looked like a tank, and they had a bloke whose job it was at night, so that when these German spotter planes came out to take pictures, you couldn't have an inflatable tank with no tracks. The thing had to get there. So his job was
to make tracks.
with a fake track making thing to make it look like it had driven to where it was. They moved them every day, right? They even had, you won't believe this, right? This was, Brits were really good at this, the sort of camouflage type thing. They built a massive, the biggest single span route, the biggest single building in Europe at the time, the bigger one in America, was Leeds Bradford Airport. It's still there now. And it was the assembly plant where parts came in from all over the country, sub-assemblies, and they built Lancaster bombers, right? And they were ramming them out of there 2 a day. But it was a huge roof, flat roof. So they knew it was going to be a massive target to the Germans, right? They were going to bomb it. So they basically, they made it look like fields on top. Whether I don't know if they planted grass or not, or whether they just, but basically painted it like fields. And they had fake cows, right? And fences up there. And every single day, there was a group of people whose job it was to move the cows. Because they knew that if they saw 3 days worth of picture, if the cows were in the same place,
and they realised it
they
wasn't
were
real.
up, right? How clever is that?
It was
That's
like
mint, innit?
Grandad, what are you doing in the war?
What did you do in the war?
Well, I'll move the cows, son.
there's some
I
like
like that.
horrendous statistics of those people who went in them gliders and stuff, and even people who arrived on the beaches and stuff, where basically 80% of them fucking died before they even got on the beach. Or like they would get towed across the channel and the fucking rope would snap and they just glide in the water.
I'm going to tell you something now, and you need to speak to him about this. In Normandy, the first people into Normandy were American, Canadian, and British airborne troops, right? So either they landed, they were meant to land in the glider, then run out, or they were
jumping out of them,
in. So one of the key things they had to take, this is the night of D-Day, so they hadn't even come up the beaches. What they had to do were, there's several rivers in that area, so if they could stop the Germans reinforcing by taking the bridges over these rivers, right? Well, one of them were the Yanks went into the western end, Brits and Canadians were typically eastern end. So Pegasus Bridge, they weren't named that, were named after the action that took place. I was looking at Pegasus Bridge, right? It's a big museum now. I went on the bikes. There's one of them pop-up things about this Bob Stoodley, right? Mackenzie says, that's Christian's granddad. Christian Iddon's, yeah. So I rang him. And I says, you got a granddad called Bob Stoodley? He says, oh yeah, Pegasus Bridge. Yeah, that's what he said. And it's all his story. His job, it was even before the parachutists went in and the gliders landed, they had to know at night where these gliders, you didn't want to land it in a town and smash the thing to bits. So they had to know where the open countryside was. So they had a real trick flyer who could navigate properly, which a lot of the ones in the, couldn't. Dropped 2 men in. One was to protect, one had to light a lamp. That's Christian's granddad, Bob. And his mate had to protect him while they did that from whoever might be there, right? And they had got in a firefight after planting this flare and setting it up. And his mate got killed. And every year, Christian's family go back to the dude's grave.
I never knew that. Honestly, that's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. Scary.
He's scary stuff, that.
But the reason that gets me what we're saying is the mindset. So they knew.
Yeah, that's genetically been handed over to a British superbike
exactly.
rider. Chris
when I rang him, right, and put the phone down, I said, now
I understand.
Now it makes sense.
So the fact that he's got a smashed foot at the moment, he'll probably be on the grid. Is that there'll be no shock to me at all. He's listening to this on Monday going, you know what, bollocks to it.
Tough lad, innit?
That is tough, innit?
Yeah, but yeah.
That's proper. That's proper, that.
Yeah. But they're flipping brave boys, aren't they?
Oh God, but different.
Especially when you know that statistically you're probably going to die. You still got to get in the fucking thing and head off.
Get yourself up in that.
I just find it, mental. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, we digressed a bit there.
No, I love it. Absolutely love it. But I am looking at the time. I am.
We're gonna go.
No. I genuinely want to sit here all day. But Grace, God love her, has got to bang out a pot, edit this, get it out. So she's got a hell of a busy afternoon. But exciting times ahead, leading into the final round.
Yep.
It's absolutely mental. We've got to. I'm holding my breath, ready to go for it. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I've got track days at Anglesey, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll get home from here with my trailer and my van, and I'll basically do a load of washing and set off crack it on in
Thursday
morning. Yeah.
What does the winter hold for Whitham.
Winters, I enjoy winters because I have quite manic summers. So the bikey stuff this winter will be. I'll be in the workshop a bit, doing some. I've got a YZR that isn't mine, and lovely 500 V4 Yamaha that belongs to a guy called Phil, who's Lee Johnson's sponsor. I'm refreshing that for him. That's really enjoyable work. I do a little bit of club trials in local. Really enjoy that. I'm very shit, but I enjoy it. Because I'm in with a bunch of lads who are just equally as shit.
Which makes it fun, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
fun, innit? And
talk shows, you got them lined up?
yeah, I got some chat shows. They're coming up.
Mint.
Also, we are going out at the end of October, early November to one of these trail riding centres in Spain. With a bunch of us, some at Scottish lads and some at Huddersfield lads. I'm doing where you just don't have to take anything.
You just turn up and all your kit and everything.
They've got helmets and they've got
orange days or something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'll tell you what, while I've got you here as well for the pay, just knock the quick shifter coffee stand over. If you could put a squiggle on that, and we'll do a giveaway for the patrons. So thank you very much for all your questions on that side of things. I'm looking at Grace yet again. Hold on, checking the phone here. I feel like Grace can't even shout up on a show. But honestly, thank you so much for doing this, Mike.
No worries,
thank
boys.
you so much. It's been absolutely great crack.
A good chunk of your afternoon. It was been very enjoyable.
I don't know whether anybody at home got this, but we're in the podcast trailer, which is quite nice. I mean, it does its job perfectly. But it's on the back of, is it your van?
Yeah.
It's quite a nice van, Crafter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's still connected, and something happened to your van. The whole thing rocked.
Yeah.
Right? And
brake
you
pads
want
are
to
a
see
bit low.
you want to see Dom's face. Me man.
No, honestly, because the thing
could
is,
feel it moving down the hill.
The thing is, all you lot had no idea what that was, but I immediately went, "Oh shit, I know exactly what that is." Because like VWs have had like problems over the years when the discs cool down.
Yeah. Do you know what also do that? I had a 911 Porsche back in the day when I was
Slightly different.
the same thing. They weren't the same. So what you've got, the same as these, you've got a disc on each wheel, but the handbrake works on a little tiny drum on the inside of the inside of the rear discs. And when you've been especially towing, brakes get warm, you stop, put your handbrake on, everything cools down, brakes go off. I've had exactly the same on a 911 that rolled away and went through my own fence.
It's nuts. Like always parking in gear, kids, because obviously there's me going like that, going, and I'm going. But you didn't panic. No one did, but me. I'm like, I'm just gonna go check the handbrake and double again on that side of things. But there we go. Absolutely love it.
We were at Silverstone once, right? We were in a Mark II long wheelbase Transit, and there were three of us keeping in it. Me, a guy called Simon Sykes, and a guy called Pete Moore, all racing at a Marlborough Clubman's event. And we're keeping in this van. We've got a tent. Frame tent with all the bikes in, and we are parked. You would think Silverstone were flat, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's not as flat as you think, in that paddock. There must be a bit of an hill because I'm sleeping across the front seats. I've packed the gap up in between with a bit of a flipping, whatever. Didn't realise that we couldn't put the handbrake on and have somebody keep there because the handbrake came. So we'd left the handbrake off. Not me, it wasn't my van, it was Simon's, it was Simpy's, Simple Simon. Anyway, Simpy'd left the flipping handbrake off, but he'd left it in gear. Big old gear lever in them days. So we're having, when you first go racing, you're chatting at night. Oh yeah, you're talking about. You don't go to sleep. You just talk with your mates, don't you? So I'm playing with the gear stick, right? And I've knocked into neutral. This thing set off, but it set off so gently, you didn't even know it were moving until there's a clonk. And it wasn't a massive clonk. He wanted to ride the van off, but it was a clonk nevertheless. I'm like, some twat's here. So as we looked up, the thing's gone right across the gap in between the vans and it's nosed up to another van and woke them up. But I mean, both vans were, past the sell by day anyway. So, we're all right, no worries, mate. Yeah.
Leave it there, it'll not roll anymore.
Yeah.
That is class. That is absolutely class. Brilliant. Well, I tell you what, we better wrap it up and say thank you very much. Honestly, I want to sit here and just keep talking all day, but we really can't on this one. So, but yet again, honestly, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks,
it's Saturday morning. It's been absolutely class. And also, we've got to obviously thank OMG Racing, JC Truck and Trailer Hire. But Now, Brands this weekend, they do a charity auction every year.
Yep.
And this year it's going to the Royal British Legion, which is a fantastic. So,
of course.
And they do it up at the hospitality, which is like on the top row. It's a fantastic.
We all get involved, and actually, it turns out to be quite a big thing that. They've asked us for a little bit of Eurosport merch, so there'll be something in from us, but all the teams put something in the work.
Yeah.
Oh, bodywork and wheels and all sorts of stuff. Leathers, obviously, you get all your riding kit. It's quite well supported generally.
You get a load of the riders actually trying to buy, like I remember when they did the money went to the Rouse family, but like Brad Ray was like buying Kyle Ride's levers, and it was just like bottles of booze. It was class, man.
Have you been to John McGuinness' little museum? Mate.
What, his house, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, his garage. Oh, yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
But 350 pairs of leathers, right? He's got. Maybe not all on display.
Oh, they are like. Oh,
but half of that is he swaps a TT when he set of levers for a Schwantz set of levers or whatever it is. You know what I mean? That's brilliant.
It's cool. I like that.
He got a tractor unit for a set of levers.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He got a Bentley for a senior winning watch.
Yep. There's always a deal to be done
Mind
with
you,
John.
It was a little bit like, a Jimmy Savile kind of Bentley one, one of the 1981. What? He had Bentleys.
He had Bentleys, yeah. They had
saying all about his lifestyle. Saying he had Bentley.
He had Bentley.
Oh, fantastic.
Absolutely love it. But obviously, thank you so much for our individual sponsor for this episode, HMY. And I must say, yet again, thank you to everyone, coming to Donington, wearing your Chrissy tops and everything. It's just absolutely great to see.
Yeah, good to see.
It really
you still
is
see a lot of stickers, actually.
Yeah.
You still see a lot of stickers. There is one proudly on my tool. Well, every toolbox I've got has a Chrissy sticker. So quite a lot about the time. So you don't. And like you say, it's still in Paddock now. There's a lot of bikes are sporting them. Yeah.
No, it's great, and it's I was down with the Jamie Lyons lot done, and Gareth Hankinson XL Signs did it, and Grace on the Chasin the Racin did put your photos in. Like to do with Chrissy and like people like tattoos and memorabilia, and Grace got them all put up on a banner and they looked absolutely class, and it just showed the love towards him, and it was just really great to see, absolutely great to see. But no, any more news before we wrap up on that side of things, gentlemen? Any thank yous, anything like that?
Thanks to James, obviously, and I guess we'll be seeing everyone at Brands.
Yeah,
yep.
Exciting.
See you there.
I'll tell you what. By the way, I must thank on both our behalf. Goodwood invited us to. Have you? You must have raised Goodwood.
Sorry,
yeah,
I've just started another conversation there.
I've done both the festival and done Revival 3 or 4 times. Really enjoyed it. Can't do it again anymore. Can't get a license, can I?
Yeah.
Can't get an issue license. So I'm all right. I'm all right with it. Great meeting though is Revival.
Yeah,
they both are. But Revival's one for me. Really coming to me old stuff.
A lot of appreciation for the bikes. Like I'd never ridden anything like that before, and I was genuinely blown away with. Drum brakes. That's all I'll say.
All the car racers down there think that the bikes are crackers.
Yeah,
but they all watch it.
Yeah,
I've got there's Huddersfield Internationals. What's the word? Wealthiest Patreon.
Oh, I know the answer to that question as well.
We'll spit it out quickly.
One pays a subscription. So a Patreon is because you pay a subscription versus you.
And by the way, we're looking for more if anyone wants to jump in. We do give away.
Sorry.
Right. Okay. You pay a subscription
difference.
Yeah. A Patreon.
That makes it a Patreon.
Yeah. Well, a patron also buys.
Yeah, but it's not subscription.
Okay. Right.
Love it.
Just one off.
And
hey, every day's a school day, isn't it?
Yeah. It is indeed. It is indeed. But no, obviously, thank you so much to Goodwood, for inviting us down. So hopefully we'll get an invite back again. Amazing event.
A lovely bike belonging to the May family as well, whose father was a Ray Petty, who is a famous Norton tuner. So it was like real.
Yeah, Petty Norton.
Yeah.
Remember him, yeah.
Really, really cool thing to do. So yeah, thanks very much for having me for that. It was fantastic.
There we are. And one more final thank you for me so far is obviously the Danik race team. Factory Chris is also known Dean Brown, and then you've got Dan, 50 Shades of Galway, you've got all them lads. It was just a cracking day's racing, 6-hour endurance race around Spa in the sunshine.
Yeah.
You just can't knock it. So
no better place than Spa.
I could not agree more. I could not agree more. So no, thank you very much for that. And thank you to all your listeners. Have a great time down at Brands or wherever you're in the world. Just enjoy it, and we'll catch you all later on, guys.
See you later.
See you in a bit. Thank you.